Everyone hopes they never receive a diagnosis that might leave them without any treatment options. This situation can leave you feeling defeated and unsure where to turn. At Ethos Hospice, our team are experts on helping patients and their loved ones navigate the end-of-life journey with dignity and compassion. Not only do we ensure the individual in our care is comfortable physically, but that the entire family is cared for spiritually and emotionally. Our faith is who we are at Ethos, and it guides us to serve you. Learn more about hospice at ethoscare.org.
The countdown is on. NDSU looks to defend their national championship as the season kicks off Saturday, September 3rd against Drake. The countdown to kickoff can be found on our website, bison1660.com, and is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer of the Bison.
Midland Garage Door is expanding, and they need motivated overnight production associates with starting pay of $25 per hour. The work is hands-on, and you can advance your career with a company who will work hard to grow your skills. Built on family values and with over 40 years of experience and integrity at their core, Midland offers excellent benefits, positive company culture, and great people. Learn more and apply today at midlandgaragedoor.com/careers. Starting pay at $25 per hour.
This summer, I'm planning to make memories for a lifetime. Sightseeing, family adventures, long weekends, and the activities I love most. I know my memories will be clear because my vision is vivid thanks to LASIK from Vance Thompson Vision. All the summer activities I love are better with LASIK because I'm free to enjoy life and see the bright, beautiful colors. To make this your best summer yet, visit VanceThompsonVision.com to set up your free LASIK consultation.
Jeremy here at Horsch in Mapleton. If you're interested in a career change, we have openings in manufacturing, safety, office roles, and would love to have you join our team. Horsch is a family-owned farm machinery business that offers competitive pay, full benefits, and paid family time from Christmas to New Year's. Visit us at Horsch.com to apply today. That's at Horsch.com. From everyone here at Horsch, we want to wish our farmers a successful planting and seeding season.
It's peach time again. Red River Youth for Christ is selling amazingly fresh Colorado peaches and Georgia pecans in the Shields Home and Hardware parking lot just off 13th Avenue this Tuesday through Thursday from 11 to 7 or until they sell out.
Are you ready to take your pet's food to a whole new level? Nutrisource Pet Foods has a new spin on kombucha, and it's for your dog. Now introducing Kombucha, the perfect topper for your dog's food. Kombucha is available in 3 delicious flavors: chicken, turkey, and beef. Your pet'll love the bone broth, and the health benefits are great. It supports digestive health, hydration aid, contains postbiotics, and palatability support. All you need to do is pour over food, add water, and serve. Find out more and find a retailer at NutrisourcePetFoods.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the North Dakota Army National Guard. Aired by the North Dakota Broadcasters Association and this station.
The construction is almost done at the Gateway Clearance Center, and the construction sale is going strong. No negotiations necessary, and payments starting as low as $99 a month. That's right, payments starting at just $99 a month at the Gateway Clearance Center, with a great selection of clean used cars, trucks, and SUVs. And right now, every vehicle is sale priced. Enjoy extra discounts for the construction sale going on now at Gateway Clearance Center on South University Drive in Fargo, or online at fmclearancecenter.com.
KQWB, West Fargo, Fargo-Moorhead, and KPFX, HD3 Kindred, Bison 1660. Powered by Gateway Chevrolet, Cadillac, Nissan, and Hyundai in Fargo.
And here's what you need to know.
Charger safety Derwin James is now the highest paid safety in the NFL. Chargers gave James a 4-year extension worth around $76.5 million. NFL Network says that James gets $29 million guaranteed in the first year and $42 million guaranteed overall. Staying in the AFC West, Chiefs wide receiver Mecole Hardman was taken off the field today on a cart during today's workout as trainers were examining his left leg. The Patriots and Panthers got into another scuffle during their joint practices, with the latest altercation involving Carolina running back Christian McCaffrey. NBC Boston reports the skirmish extended into the first row of fans, where a woman was hit landed on the foot by a player's helmet. She refused medical attention and was reportedly given tickets to an upcoming Patriots game. San Antonio Spurs announced that 65,000 fans will be allowed to attend their game at the Alamo Dome on January 13th. I'm Dan Beyer.
You've got the insiders.
How you play today, from this moment on, is how you will be remembered.
That's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face.
Bringing you what you need to know and a whole lot more. Topics you care about, guests you know, and the conversations you came to hear. The Insiders are presented by Proseed. Need seed? Think Proseed. Now, here are the Insiders.
The Insiders.
The Insiders.
The Insiders.
Insiders.
The Insiders.
Andy Rickoff and Bison great Kyle Emanuel.
Welcome on in. It is a midweek edition, right in the smack dab in the middle of the week here on the Insiders. Andy Rickoff, Kyle Emanuel, Micah Bindi, gang's all here. Everybody walking around the Radio FM Media campus, waving to people, saying hi, all that kind of stuff. We've got the horse cam up and operational. Micah was in here well before the show at like 11:40. He's like, "Does this sound like a good description for the Mevo or for the horse cam here?" And I'm like, the fact that you have it done 15 minutes ahead of the show, yeah, it sounds good to me. Because mine was always like a 2.5 minutes before the show I'd write the description. So well done to him. He's got the horse cam locked down. You can watch our show on our Facebook page, Bison 1660. Approaching that 4,000 likes, 4,000 followers plateau or mark, I guess you could say, on our Facebook page. So go like Bison 1660 on Facebook. All the latest information, all the latest news, and some more stuff coming this football season. So looking forward to being with you for the next couple of hours on the show. And we've got a big football day for you. It's a lot of coordinator talk. The coordinators for NDSU football will be on the show. Their conversations with Rob Hipp, David Braun at 11:30. Conversation with Rob Hipp back at the NDSU Media Day. And then Tyler Roehl will be at noon. His conversation with Rob as well. So there's the NDSU coordinators from just last week as they were going through fall camp and getting ready for this upcoming season. Both guys who have been here for a while now. I want to know what napkins and what plays have been written down by Tyler Roehl on napkins during the offseason and how creative he has gotten with Cole Payton. Do you throw him in there a little bit? Do you run him a little bit more? Everyone kind of wondering that stuff. So I'll play those conversations later on in the show, again, 11:30 and at 12. We do have a great client interview with Mackenzie Broughton of Epic Companies coming in at 11:45. Looking forward to the latest from them. I heard Diamond Rio concert going on. They've had a great concert series this summer, the last couple of weeks, all across Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead. We'll find out what the concerts and events are coming up throughout this week, next week, and the following couple of months as summer winds down. We're in back-to-school season. Does that seem weird to everybody?
Yes, it always does. Every single year that it comes around.
Seems weirder even now that I'm out of school. It's like back-to-school season. What?
I like it more now that I'm out of
it. Oh, yeah.
I used to just dread, like it started getting to the end of July, and it's like, oh, man, I gotta go back to school. And I wasn't one of those. I didn't look forward to going back to school.
No, nobody ever looks forward to it.
I think my wife might have.
Really?
Yeah, she liked school.
Didn't like summer?
Why she went on to law school. She went to a lot of school.
Smarty pants.
Yeah, smart people liked school. But I didn't look forward to school. I didn't look forward to going to fall camp, as we've talked about, like training camp. Like it's the hardest part of the season in my mind. I know there's a grind of the actual season, but just the day-to-day stuff without having a break. So it is weird that we're here. But we are here indeed. It does mean now that I'm out of it all, now I just get to enjoy football, get to coach football a little bit, get to talk about football, get to watch football. So now it's becoming like this is my favorite time of year.
Now the kids you coach or the players on NDSU that you watch and you do the analyst stuff for, they're the ones that go buy the notebooks and the books.
Exactly.
And the thing about back to school, why it always is like, why is it getting earlier? Because it's a marketing thing. Every department store is like, we're going to be the first ones with our back to school sales. And so they push it a week further, and then it's another day the next year, another day, and everything.
Same thing with Christmas. Yep. Even Halloween. It seems like September 1st, Halloween's already out.
It's happening already.
Already, exactly.
It's pumpkin spice season.
Right.
Everything pumpkin spice like a week ago. It's pumpkin spice this, pumpkin spice that. We're in August, people.
You got to beat them.
Let's get to mid-September first.
Well, the weather does kind of feel I don't know about today. I didn't look, but like there's a couple days coming up. It's like the high is like 70 in August,
glorious,
which I love.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like okay, we're getting dangerously close to like fall weather with
a little
that.
Crisp in the air. Huh?
I'm good with the hoodie weather. Love it.
100%. All about the hoodie weather. No doubt about that one. And fall is my favorite season, anyways. But the pumpkin spice stuff is like further and further out every single year. Now we're in like early August, and they're like, hey, pumpkin spice everything. There is a new item, by the way. You're not a big pumpkin spice person. Is Jackie?
Yeah, I mean,
You're not opposed to it, but
I'm not opposed to it.
Okay,
if someone puts one in front of me, I'll drink it. Yeah.
But will Jackie go like pumpkin spice everything?
I don't think she doesn't go like crazy,
Okay.
but she's about it. She's
Okay.
with it. She's into themes and holidays and
Gotcha.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Fair enough. I heard of pumpkin spiced goldfish. New thing this year. They're going to be like a graham. It's not going to be like your cheese cracker goldfish. It's going to be a graham cracker with pumpkin spice on it.
Okay.
In the shape of a goldfish.
I would eat that.
Yeah. I don't think it sounds awful.
There's not a lot of things I won't eat, to be honest. But I would give it a shot. I'll try it.
Worst pumpkin spice things, like the pumpkin spice Oreos or something. I was like,
I would
think
eat that
we're
too.
trying too hard.
I would eat that too.
It's
I would try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an Oreo. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. It's an Oreo with a lot of sugar. It can't be that bad.
Can't be awful for you. That seems to be happening a little bit earlier each and every year. Also, later on today, we'll have a list that Kyle can hopefully rip apart a little bit. My top 10 NFL players under the most pressure for this upcoming season. Now that we're a preseason game in, some of the storylines have developed just a little bit. Players who are under the most pressure, keeping a job. Maybe they got everything they wanted in the offseason. Now got to prove themselves a little bit. Maybe they're slipping in terms of their standing amongst fans or commentators or members of the media. So I think there's some good names on the top list.
How many Vikings do you have on that list?
I do have a Viking.
Good.
There is a Viking on the list.
I
Just
like
one,
it.
though. I thought one was top 10 of the NFL.
Yeah, that's true.
Some other ones
I just
out there.
figured for you, it's like they should all be under pressure. They all have pressure. They got to win. They got to go 14-3.
There's not much pressure. They're going to be 16-1. Only lost at Detroit.
You know it.
Darn right. There you go. Even Matt Entz knows it. See, there's no pressure on him. Colin Cowherd as the 10th best team in the herd hierarchy. Green Bay's not even in the top 10, so got nothing to worry about.
Easy win in the NFC North. Well, I'm looking forward to that list, Andy.
Okay.
I'm going to have to come up with my own list. At least, when we've done this a couple times, like I like to quickly come up with my own. Maybe not even ranked, just so if you miss someone, I can know about it.
That's what I'm letting you know about it right now.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll be working on that in the next break.
Yes. So that's all coming up a little bit later. The list won't be till the second hour, so Kyle, you got plenty of time.
Oh, okay.
But for the first segment, I think it's not quite breaking news. It broke a little bit earlier, but it's still statute of limitations hasn't run out. So let's hit the breaking news sounder for the first segment, because this is something that's worthy of it. Every once in a while, there's a little bit of news from NDSU or the surrounding areas. Like, I don't know if it's really worthy of the breaking news sounder, but this one definitely fits. Also get the crowd cheer sound effect ready. NDSU is adding something to the list this fall. We've heard about it a lot. There's always been a few steps to get to the finish line, but officially from NDSU today, that the Bison are adding alcohol sales at home games this fall to the Fargo Dome. It's happening, folks. The Fargo Dome and NDSU Athletics have added beer and seltzers to concession stand offerings for Bison football games during the upcoming 2022 season. No hard liquor, but beer and seltzer sales. I think that's just fine. That's going to get the job done. Well, no. We're happy with this. We're going to stay right where we're at on this one.
Baby steps.
Baby steps first. You gotta crawl before you can walk and walk before you can run. Final points of sale are being determined, but sales will be allowed stadium-wide until the beginning of the fourth quarter, and consumption will be allowed in all seating sections. I thought there might be like a family-friendly section. It sounds like all sections of the Fargo Dome you'll be able to enjoy a beverage of your choice. And with expectations of maintaining an exciting and safe game day experience, the Fan Code of Conduct and Alcohol Management Plan has been developed to ensure a fan-friendly atmosphere. Fans who choose to not adhere to the Code of Conduct will be subject to penalties, including, but not limited to, removal without refund, revocation of season tickets, and or prevention from attending future games. So don't violate the Fan Code of Conduct, and everything will be fine. Alcohol sales. Obviously, this is something that fans have asked about for a long time. I think it's due, or past due. I think this is a very good addition. This is great for the in-stadium atmosphere. They're the last of the Valley schools to offer this as well. So this is a good thing, and a good step, I think, for the fan engagement at the Dome this year.
Yeah, it absolutely is a good thing. I know there's been a lot of talk about, well, how do you there was some times where fans weren't as full, or the stands weren't as full as we were used to, and there's been a lot of talk, well, what do you do? And this was, I think, the most obvious step to me. I think it was probably the most obvious step to a lot of fans. This is nothing new. Like you mentioned, Andy, every other school seems to do it. Every other school in the Missouri Valley does it. You go to concerts at the Fargo Dome, they have alcohol sales. They've done it before. So they're prepared in that way. You're already kind of, you have that atmosphere of people drinking and having a good time out in the tailgate lot, and then they kind of have to come to the Dome, and it has to settle down a little bit. So now it just seemed like the right step, and it seems like we've been so close for so long. It seems like it's something that gets brought up every single offseason, and then we had the announcement a little while ago that it was gonna happen, but it wasn't finalized. Now it sounds like it's finalized, and I'm happy for the fans, and I think they'll enjoy it. I hope it doesn't become an issue. I don't see it becoming an issue, but that's why they do have that fan code of conduct that they came out with. If you are a fan and you're wondering what is in this fan code of conduct, there's a link to it. And I just glanced through it.
Okay.
It's nothing crazy.
No.
It's pretty much be a reasonable, decent
I can read through it right
human
now.
being, and you'll be fine. No underage drinking, no excessive drinking, getting crazy, no obscene gesture. Like, it's pretty standard. Right?
Exactly. And this, I mean, alcohol sales have been available at basketball and wrestling events for the last couple of years, but no problems. And I think the fan base is a mature fan base. I think we like to drink. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people in North Dakota and Fargo like to drink, which isn't a problem. But they handle it well. And, at games in Frisco, I haven't heard a lot of fights breaking out. Games in Frisco or other places, and obviously there's a lot of alcohol consumed at that stadium on National Championship game day. Fan code of conduct. There's just a couple of the bullet points. Fans will be treated in a professional and courteous manner by all facility, event and team personnel. Fans will enjoy the game day experience free from disruptive behavior, including foul or abusive language and obscene gestures. Fans who choose to consume alcoholic beverages will do so in a responsible manner. Intervention with an impaired, intoxicated, or underage guest will be handled in a prompt and safe manner. Fans will sit only in their ticketed seats and show their tickets when requested. Fans who engage in fighting, throwing objects, or attempting to interfere with the progress of the event will be immediately removed from the facility. Fans who choose to smoke, including electronic cigarettes, will do so only in designated smoking areas. Designated smoking areas for Fargo Dome is posted throughout the facility. Obscene or indecent messages or signs or clothing will not be permitted for the NDSU fan code of conduct. Like you said, there's nothing out there that's controversial. That's pretty basic. That's pretty standard across every school or every NFL, NBA. Don't fight somebody. Don't swear or do obscene language or gestures. Don't throw things at people, and try not to run on the field and disrupt the event that's happening. That's probably going to get you kicked out.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pretty good standard.
And don't drink if you're underage.
Yeah, don't drink if you're underage. Don't break the law in general. So like I said, it's pretty standard stuff. Nothing too crazy on there. You can still go to the game. You can still have a good time. You can still cheer loud for the Bison, cheer them on, do all the first down stuff and everything, and it'll still be a great time inside the Fargo Dome.
And this will also mean for tailgating. What do we usually see at the tailgate lot? Okay, I got to chug like 3 more beers here and then go in, and you don't get in until right before kickoff. I think this will allow fans to be like, okay, I'll go in a little bit earlier. It'll fill up a little bit earlier, maybe inside the Fargo Dome as well. You don't have to, go and chug 3-pounders before you go into the game, and then you're probably a little too worked up at the beginning of the game. Now you can just keep it level throughout the entire game, which is going to be good. The alcohol management plan as well. If you drink responsibly and pace your drinking. Watch out for your friends and always designate a driver. Drinking laws include underage drinking that are strictly enforced inside the Fargo Dome. Help us maintain a fun, safe, and secure experience. If you see something dangerous or disruptive, say something to a staff member. They're all over the place. You see them in the big yellow jackets there at the Fargo Dome. The policy as well, maximum alcoholic drinks, 2 drinks per person, or possession, basically. So you can go up, max you can get is 2. You can't go up and say, give me 15 beers and a couple of seltzers. You're going to get 2 per person. Max cup size, 22 ounces, so 22-ounce beers. Yes, they're going to be in cans. No liquor sold. Cutoff policy, again, is at the end of the third quarter. So there is the latest. That's the official release from NDSU. I know people kept asking us, is it going to happen? Then we got the stories that it's going to happen. But, Matt Larson was always in here. He was very honest and open with us that, hey, we still got to get to the finish line on this thing. We got to work out, numbers, who's getting what from NDSU into the city, because the Fargo Dome's owned by the city, so how much money of all these sales are going to who. Sounds like they worked all that stuff out, what's going to be available, and got the policy ready, and now we're releasing that one today. So great policy, more than due, I think, at the Fargo Dome, and this would be one of the great additions. They have a lot of other great additions as well, but this is one of them this year.
I'm just going to ask it. Do we know what the price is going to be yet?
I do not. That's not there.
I was just wondering.
Hopefully not Masters prices.
Right. Hopefully not Masters prices. Hopefully, but also
or not Masters, U.S. Open prices.
Oh yeah,
Masters
right.
prices are okay. U.S. was the $18 like Michelob Ultra. Or something.
Yeah, that's insane. The Masters is known for, I thought it was cheap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a $2 hot dog or a $1 hot dog or something like that.
Correct.
Yeah. So, but again, it's a good step. I'm happy for the fans. Happy for the atmosphere of the Fargo Dome should be just as good, if not even better, with this addition. And so now we can put this behind us. It doesn't have to be something that gets discussed and brought up every single off season about why aren't we doing this, and
can we add this? Can we add this?
Yeah, can we do this? Can we do that? Now we have it, and it's there.
And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the fans. I think the fans will do just fine with it. I don't see any problems coming from this, but now it's up to the fans. You got kind of what you wanted. You got to act responsibly in order to keep it there, but I think the fans will do just fine with it. Try and get Matt Larson probably on the show next week to talk about that and some of the other things they got going at tailgating and different things as well during the game inside the Fargo Dome. I know there's a big survey that was sent out to all the fans. People had input into what do you want during the game, what are some additions or improvements to the game day experience or to the Fargo Dome that you'd like to see, and they sent that out well early in the summer. It was probably like April or something like that, and they've been going through all of this. So this is just one of the additions this year to make NDSU football even better. I think the experience is pretty good. I think the Saturdays are pretty fun to begin with, but when you add stuff like this, it makes it that much better. We do have one person chiming in on our text line. You can text us your thoughts on the alcohol sales, 701-476-1660. Roger with a simple, and I think this is speaking for a lot of Bison Nation out there, hell yeah, from Roger on the text line.
About time.
Wasn't anything else. There's all caps, hell yeah. There we go. By the way, Steve Zaski yesterday said, happy birthday, Kyle. Great having you on the show.
Oh,
I forgot to get
Steve.
to that. So.
Appreciate that.
How was the birthday?
It was good. It was good. Nothing too crazy. It was a typical adult birthday. It was kind of a normal work day.
Yep.
I obviously had the show. I had coaching.
Went out the bed at 10, tucked in.
Yeah, I mean, not too much. I was home before 10.
There you go.
So didn't get too crazy, but it was good, and officially an early 30s guy.
Early 30s guy. I like it.
Yes.
So I want to make sure we mentioned that from Steve. Micah, did you have something?
One thing that I think could be added to the experience for Bison Game Day is having those competitions like on the field, like fans like trying to kick a field goal or throw some passes in like a bucket or like that you always see at like the college football playoffs.
That's one thing we've heard from fans is like during TV timeouts, because it doesn't seem like a lot of time when you're sitting there and it's a 3-minute TV timeout or a 2-minute media timeout. It's like 2 minutes for some reason seems like a lot because we're a quick generation. We want things immediately. We want things going on constantly. Our attention spans are terrible.
Really bad.
Absolutely
really bad.
Awful. Mine is horrendous. So we need stuff going on constantly.
I really like the one, they do it in baseball. I don't know how it would work in football, but where they have like the dude dressed in like the all-black suit or whatever, and you have to beat him in a race.
Yeah.
And
the
like
freeze,
all those
they call him beat the freeze.
Yeah, is that who? And then all the fans, like, they'll get like, they're like 20, 30 yards away, and they think they've won because they give them a massive head start, and the dude just hawks them.
Yep.
He just absolutely destroys them. And then I think there's even some guys that have fallen over because they try to turn it back on.
Yep.
I would love to see that. Or like when the mascots, like, they do their race and they kind of like fight each other. Not fight, but like they wrestle and like knock each other over. I'm all about that. Or get them in those big inflatable balls, for lack of a better term, and they just like run at
those
each other.
Those inflatable like hamster ball.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. I like that, Micah. That's a good idea.
Just more TV timeout entertainment stuff.
Yeah, like those quarter breaks.
Exactly. I mean, they do stuff like that. I mean, they have the cameras, right? The dance cam, the whatever cam. And
Flex cam.
Flex cam's a big one. Kiss cam at some other ones. I don't know if NDSU's really it's ever been a thing at the Fargo Dome. I don't really remember that one. But that's at other sporting events,
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's
kind of
more
classic.
basketball stuff.
Something that's been funny at some basketball arenas, I've done the celebrity lookalike cam.
Oh,
they like find someone in the stands that looks like a celebrity or like a cartoon character, and they'll put it up there. I think it's pretty funny.
That one is pretty good.
Yeah,
I like that one a lot.
That was pretty solid.
What's the camera that they try and find people that aren't paying attention at all? What's the word for it? Something.
Oh, yeah.
Something cam where
attention span cam or something.
I'll look it up.
Millennial
it's perfect when like somebody's just diving into their phone and not paying attention that they're on camera for like 15 seconds and people are trying to get their attention and oblivious cam.
Oblivious,
like that.
Completely oblivious to what is going on around them. Another text coming in. You can keep texting us, 701-476-1660. CC in the Lakes area. Beer on Labor Day game is perfect. Can't leave the beach with 4 kids to tailgate, so just hitting the game and have 5 or 6, then making the wife drive home. Winnie from CC Lake. He's mentioned that before. He's not the only one that's mentioned this, too. You have kids, and you don't necessarily live in Fargo, you kind of bring the kids with you. Bringing them to tailgate and having beers there doesn't necessarily work because you got to get there extra early. Yep. Well, now I can just bring the kids. We can get there right when the game starts or like 20 minutes before the game starts, and I can have a few at the game. I don't have to come 4 hours ahead of time to go tailgating to have all these beverages, these beers, whatever you're having, and then go into the game. That is a real thing for a lot of fans. So that's another reason why it's a good addition.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of, maybe not a lot, but there's going to be a couple different scenarios, situations that you and I, having covered the game, like we wouldn't even think of. That is, right. It'll just help out, just tiny little things. And again, this happens all over at concerts, at sporting events, everywhere. So I'll just leave it at it was about time, and I'm glad it's here.
So is there an over-under in terms of weeks, like week 2, week 3, week 3 is a road game, but what week Cole Jurek does a sideline report, like just mentioning new things at the Fargo Dome. He's like, new things at the Fargo Dome this year, there's beer sales, and he's got,
a beer in his hand,
a Bud Light, the official beer of the Bison, or something like that, and he's drinking on the sideline.
Wasn't his sideline hit sponsored by Bud Light there for a while? So
he almost needs to have
it. You tell me. I don't know. It might be frowned upon to be drinking a beer on the sideline, but
well, you're just bringing information to the fans.
That's
this
right.
is what's new at the Fargo Dome this year.
Let me taste it, make sure it tastes okay, or he's just going to hold it.
I got to taste it.
Got to taste it,
and
make sure the beer.
What's the temperature? Is it cold enough? Exactly.
Yeah, or the mountain's blue.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well, that's a different one.
That's cool,
but
whatever.
Exactly.
But still, yeah, I think if you allow him to, it would happen week 1.
First quarter, the first break between the first and
before
second
halftime.
Yeah,
but that's that might be up to you or Rob, or maybe I don't think Phil Hansen's going to shut it down. I think he might be okay.
I think Phil might partake as well.
He might.
Yeah. Will Logan Campbell do one on the sideline? Silent reporter. You go for a break. Hey, do at the Fargo Dome this year. We got beer sales, and she's there standing.
I'm sure
with
she
one.
would. I don't know if she'd be allowed to. I think that's frowned upon. Live TV, be drinking a beer, but
people have done worse things.
I mean, if you get it sponsored,
they've eaten mayo or Oreos dipped in mayo and stuff.
It could happen.
Yeah. Again, don't have to just chug the thing or anything. Doesn't have to take a sip, but just
I get to do a live hit in the booth?
That's the other question.
Here's what's new in the Fargo Dome. Let me show you how it's done.
Let me show you how we can do that. We can do like speaking of the camera thing. Remember, other events they'll Aaron Rodgers is here, and they'll like zoom in on him and courtside at a
chug a beer.
Well, for him it was chugging a beer, kind of, sort of
like
sipping.
But David Bakhtiari was the one that would pound like 3 in 10 seconds.
Yeah,
or something. Yeah.
He was not a rookie to that.
No, not at all.
He was ready.
So chug cam, just encourage it a little bit more, and all of a sudden it zooms to Kyle Emanuel in the booth.
Yeah, again, probably
frowned upon.
Yeah,
okay. Well,
maybe more than frowned upon.
Maybe more than frowned upon at that point. But that's the big news of the day. Alcohol sales coming to the Fargo Dome here this season. Again, beer and seltzers. That's what you got. And no hard liquor this year. But obviously, tailgate lot, you can do kind of whatever you want there. There'll be some more additions to what's happening this year, NDSU before games and during games. Again, we'll try and get Matt Larson in here. Maybe next week as well, since it's a week before the first game week, and go over the new things happening at the Fargo Dome for a game day experience. Before we take a break, since we're already this far into the first segment of the show, and we've got David Braun coming up here about 11:30 or so, how about we go to the latest thing from college football? And this is our good friend Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss head coach, who every once in a while has a kind of a funny quote. Punters are people too. And you never know where you might find some talent. Sometimes there's untapped talent all around you, especially at a big university like Ole Miss. They found a punter recently. Found him in a unique spot at Ole Miss. And Lane Kiffin was asked about this just a couple of days ago.
Hey, you guys have also added a punter to your roster. Can you talk a little bit about him?
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about him. I think he was down at the frat house, like at a keg party or something, where they got him from. So we got some conditioning work to do with my guy, but we just said, hey, someone go find a punter. around campus, and so we found one that actually used to punt in Division I. So you never know.
There you go. You just never know. They found a punter. Speaking of alcohol sales, at a frat party, a cake party or something.
That is insane.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool though.
Former D1 punter, and just kind of worked. I don't know if they had punter injuries or why they needed to go find an extra punter, but they did.
It's not unheard of. I know it's happened before. I can't think of any specific examples, but it's happened before. You just go find it. I mean, I think even at NDSU, I don't know if we ever found anyone, but like there was a time, like there was like a day or two where like once students got onto campus, they had like open tryouts. Just like kids come try out and see what they could do. Now I don't know if any of them panned out. I don't even know if any of them ended up making the team, but it's not unheard of. That is pretty cool.
I'd say it's really cool. I believe Charlie Pollock is his name.
That didn't happen to you, Andy?
Or Frazier Mason is his name. A junior, basically, punter from St. Joseph's Nudge College. That's where he used to play. Brisbane, Australia, I see.
All right.
Okay.
I'm surprised that didn't happen to you. When you were walking around NDSU, one of the
It happened in high school.
Did it?
It did. So, I mean, obviously, it's like some people know, and like you know, I was a soccer goalie in high school and in college. And so the high school team's always looking for a kicker or a kickoff or a punt person. They asked me. I did a little bit of a tryout or something like that, but never actually did anything in the game. All of our games they overlapped a lot on Friday nights or like the night before. We'd be out doing something, right? Other events going on. I just couldn't be there for every game. Ended up getting one of my other teammates actually to be like the kickoff specialist and the field goal kicker.
So we do. At Shanley, we had a couple guys that played soccer, and they did both.
Well, former Bison, Jake Reinholz, was a soccer player for Shanley as well. He was
a good
football,
one,
but he was,
what I understand, a pretty good soccer player.
He was, I believe, the player of the year in North Dakota his senior year. He was a phenomenal player, no doubt about that. I remember calling some of his games, but he had a rocket. That thing came off the foot quick and definitely translated onto the soccer field as well. Shanley also had a really, really good kicker, Emmett Kenny, a couple of years ago. He was at Stanford.
Yeah.
Still there?
As far as I know, he actually got an opportunity last year, and he got like I don't know the exact story, but he got like hurt on his first kick. He had, like extra point or a short field goal, and he got hurt. Like I don't remember details, but so an unfortunate situation. But yeah, he's at Stanford.
There you go. Yeah, I remember talking to him, and he could hit him from 55, 60. And he was even going back further than that on a couple practice ones. But yeah, crazy. Found a punter at a frat party. A cake stand. There you go.
You were right with Charlie Pollock.
Was it? Okay, Charlie Pollock. He's a freshman. On the roster.
He committed to Nevada back in 2019.
It says Nevada on the roster here, so they both came from somewhere else. But I guess Charlie Pollock is the guy that is the. I assume since on the roster it says freshman. I'm like, well, he was at a D1 university before. It must have been somewhere else. But Charlie Pollock. He doesn't have a picture up on the website now, so that makes a little bit more sense.
New punter of the 2022 season.
There you go, Charlie Pollock. Imagine that you're at a frat party, you're having a good time. College kids are known to do. All of a sudden, a coach walks up. To you, it's some random dude. You probably don't know who it is.
Yeah, don't even know who this guy is.
Because it's not Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin sent somebody. He sent the operations guy.
I don't know anything about this guy. I guess we found him at a party.
So some dude walks up to you. I mean, how does he even know? Did you just go around the party? Hey, anybody punt? Anybody punt?
Like, I don't know.
Was he doing punts in the front yard?
Did he punt a beer or something at this party? Did he just like actually drop kick something? And they're like, hey man, you a punter? Yeah, actually I played. How does this happen?
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know more about this story.
More details.
We need somebody to dive in deep, some investigative, big J, capital J journalism on this one to find out more about Charlie Pollock, the new punter for Ole Miss that was found at a random party on Ole Miss's campus. We'll take a break, though. We'll come back. We'll find more stories like that if we can. We'll take a break. We'll come back, talk some Code Green defense. The defensive coordinator, David Braun, talked with Rob Hipp at NDSU Media Day. That conversation comes up next here on The Insiders.
Your home for the Thundering Herd.
Hey, you got any left-handed football?
Bison 1660.
Remember checking the markets back in the day? If you go way back, they moved about a nickel a year. It was up a penny, the word spread through party lines, and everybody revved up their single axes with no hoist and motored to town. Then came the 70s with a Russian grain deal, tandems and limit moves on the grains, 30 cents beans. The radio was just starting to have closes, and sometimes the 6 o'clock news had markets. Nowadays, almost everyone has semi, and you have text alerts from your favorite market analysis. Memories, need seed, think proceed.
When you're making decisions about your ag operation finances, you need access to the experts. This is Scott Solandic with Cornerstone Bank. Whether you're just starting your operation or looking to grow, we're here to talk you through those financial decisions. We're the kind of people who get to know you and genuinely appreciate your needs. If you're looking for a bank that's been specializing in ag banking for generations, come see us at Cornerstone Bank.
Cornerstone Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You work hard to make your house a home, and at Onyx Exteriors, we strive to make the outside of your home as warm and inviting as the inside. I'm Blake.
And I'm Ray, owners of Onyx Exteriors. We install the industry's top brands in seamless steel, wood, vinyl, specialty products, as well as gutters, windows, and doors.
And all at a great price. We personally work with you from the estimate to the installation to guarantee your satisfaction.
So whether it's a remodel or new construction, schedule a free estimate online at onyxnd.com.
Yeah, this was pretty wild, especially for us.
I heard about this, but I just thought, YOLO.
We were both a little, but experimenting's fun.
When I found out he was into it, I was like, yep, let's just do it.
Hard tea, lemonade, same time? What?
Nice hard teas, half and half is something we both could drink and enjoy together.
Nice hard teas, half and half. I ain't never going back.
Half and half, whoop whoop.
Oh, calm down, honey, they get it.
Oh, sorry.
Slam summer.
Nice hard tea. Drink hard, play nice. Nice. Party responsibly.
Take care of your property with equipment you can count on, like the Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors, part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability, and Z Series mowers and Sidekick utility vehicles, where durability meets speed. Visit your local Kubota dealer for a demo today. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Kubota of the Lakes has you covered for all your lawn care equipment and service needs. Kubota of the Lakes, Highway 10, Detroit Lakes, or online at KubotaoftheLakes.com.
Are you a business owner with remodel plans in the near future? When it comes to your electrical needs, you only need one call, and that's 2 JDP Electric. JDP's team of professionals will work with you closely and are able to follow a strict timeline to get your project done when it's needed. That way, you don't have to worry about closing your doors and missing any customers or sales. Put your company in the best hands by calling JDP right away. Call 701-232-1991 today to experience the JDP difference, or online at jdpelectric.net.
You hear that? The herd is headed your way. You're hearing from the insiders right here on Bison 1660.
Welcome back to the Insiders. Andy Rickoff, Kyle Emanuel with you. We also have our joint practice correspondent, Micah Bindi. He's got everything on the Vikings and 49ers joint practice. We're going to go back to you. We're going to do them after our conversation with David Braun here in just a little bit. But we're going to go back to you for the latest updates on 49ers and Vikings joint practices.
You guys are making such a big deal about these joint practices. Well, guys are still working on things, and you're like, oh my gosh, you completed a pass between this guy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, every break, even before the show, he's like, hey, look at all these completions, and Justin Jefferson's torching guys, and Kirk's looking great. So we're going to go back to you for updates.
Corners can't guard any receivers at the Niners, Vikings.
Here we go.
Who's getting into fights with who?
Someone's locking down Nick Bosa, you said?
Nick Bosa. Yeah, it is the Niners.
Yeah, the Niners.
Christian Darrisaw,
the guy that's
locking down, possibly going to be Trent Williams this year.
Gosh, maybe Colin Cowherd knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, telling you, it's taken off. Sound the Gallerhorn, purple Kool-Aid.
I've never been a super fan of like an NFL team. Obviously participated in these things, but I'm not used to like diving into like really caring about what happens at a joint practice.
Is that the way a lot of people in Nebraska are?
No, there's some diehards,
okay.
but it's spread out. It's everywhere. You know, you got Vikings, you got Chiefs, you got Broncos. There's some Raiders fans. I mean, all over the place.
So Bears,
Packers, Bears. Oh yeah, my uncle is a big Bears fan. Remember, even when I was playing against him, he was like, "Yeah, kind of want you to lose." You know, like diehard.
Thanks, Uncle.
Yeah,
appreciate
it.
Ever wear your jersey or anything?
Did he? I don't remember. I don't think so.
Probably.
He probably wore a Jay Cutler jersey. Even though I don't even know if he was there when I was playing. But anyway.
Well, we'll get back to your uncle and other family members who wear your jersey and or don't wear your jersey a little bit later. We're here inside our Thoroldson Ethanol Broadcast Center. Thoroldson Ethanol, one of the nation's largest ethanol facilities. This 175 million gallon per year ethanol plant is located just west of Castleton. Fuel your future by joining the growing team today. View open positions at ThoroldSonEthanol.com. And the Insiders, as always, brought to you by Proceed, home of the right choice and right stuff programs, and online at proceed.net. If you need seed, think Proceed.
Well, the newest voice of the Bison, Rob Hipp, here with us on campus. He'll be on the show a little bit more in the next couple of weeks. Give him some time to get his feet on the ground. But he was at NDSU Media Day last week and caught up with both of the coordinators. Here for you right now, though, is Rob's conversation with defensive coordinator David Braun.
Rob Hipp here with defensive coordinator David Braun, Football Scoops FCS Coordinator of the Year in 2021. You talk about a team on the defensive side that limited opponents to just over 11 points per game last season. That was a record in the conference. Ranked third nationally in total defense, just under 265 yards a game, and third down conversion defense at 27%. Coach, so many accolades. That's just a few of them. But, you know, what has been the success of this program, and what has really impressed you the most from your position as a defensive coordinator?
You know, watching it from afar in my time at UNI, you know, there was just this tremendous amount of respect for the tempo that this team played with on both sides of the ball, the physicality that this team played with on both sides of the ball, and now going into my fourth season, it's been really fun to see, you know, the group of men in that locker room continue to embody that, you know, and we talk about how we want to evolve and the adjustments that we want to make each season, but at the end of the day, there's certain non-negotiables, and, you know, the young men that we've recruited that are in those unit meetings, that are in that locker room, have stuck to those things, and that's, you know, we're gonna play really hard. We're gonna look to out physical our opponent every Saturday. We're gonna play fast and with conviction, and not play with the fear of failure. We're just gonna play, understand that we're gonna know our leverage, and we're gonna trust the guys around us, and dang it, we're gonna play for one another. And I think last season was an embodiment of that, and now the ultimate challenge is to find a way to put good things on tape come September 3rd and continue to build off of that.
Of course, guys graduate. You lost a couple of good ones in Lane Tucker and Costner Ching at defensive tackle. Who's kind of primed right now to step up into that position?
You know, Eli Mostert continues just to be a force. Javier Darrett is really stepping, you know, to stepping up his play to a whole other level. And then after that, you know, it's really a lot of young guys that are vying for those opportunities as we continue to rotate as a defensive line. But Will Mostert continues to show some really dynamic things within his pass rush skill set, and excited for a couple freshmen out there. You know, Jackson Dudenheffer and Cody Heisman are two guys that you know, are still trying to figure it out, only going in their second fall camp, but certainly have potential to help this football team.
Julian Wadarsik moving from strong safety to linebacker this season, I believe. He's competing with some tough young talent at that position. Talk a little more about his move, and what are you seeing from him so far?
You know, I'll tell you what, that was a tough move for everybody, including Julian, just because he was really starting to develop as a strong safety, someone that we felt really good about as a backup to Michael Tutsi, and someone that was, you know, going to be primed for his opportunity whenever that showed. With where our roster was at, you know, we wanted to give him a shot at that AM linebacker position, and he's stepped into that role with a ton of confidence. He's playing really fast. Coach Olson's done an incredible job getting him up to speed. You know, seeing him continue to grow playing within the box every single day. You know, he's comfortable in space as a former safety, and continue to really develop in his man coverage skills. So really excited about where he's at and where the competition is in that room right now. Those guys are getting pushed.
Here talking to David Braun, defensive coordinator. Coach, final question. What other changes may we see from last year? Who's kind of stepping up to be that leader this year?
You know, it's Michael Tutsi, Dawson Weber, James Kaiser are guys that immediately come to mind. Spencer Wagey, you know, Tony Pierce, Jake Cava, guys on the defensive line that have been around this program for a long time and know what it really looks like to be a Bison. It's been fun to see those guys step into the role of not just being a leader, but being a senior leader. You know, guys that this team's going to have to rely on when the going gets tough, and we know that's part of going through a season. There's going to be ups and downs and ebbs and flows, and I think what you can anticipate is a group that's going to continue to find the strength of this group. You know, we look at that DB room right now. We got to find ways to get Dom Jones on the field. We got to find ways to get Destron Talbert, Marquise Siegel, Courtney Eubanks, Jane Price. I mean, that corner room's loaded. What can we do with that position group that can really tailor to their skill set, and then also find ways to continue to tap into that linebacker room? We're too deep at all those linebacker spots. There's good competition. You know, I think you're going to see some times that we're maybe a little bit more personnel-based than we have been in the past.
You heard it from Coach. A lot of depth, a lot of opportunities, a lot of success on the horizon. Continuing that excellence. Coach, appreciate you. Looking forward to getting ingrained in. Hey, man, horns up.
Horns up. Good having you.
That'll be Rob Hipp with defensive coordinator David Braun, and that's been here for a long time. Some ties, obviously, to the Valley beforehand with Northern Iowa, and he's been a great addition to this staff for a number of years now. He's just phenomenal at what he does. Really does a great job This year it's a little bit different for him because he's always kind of helped with the secondary. He's had his position groups. Now he's just defensive coordinator. He works with every group a little bit. You bring in Lewis Walker, who helps with the DBs. Is that his position group he worked with a lot back in Monmouth. And David Braun's kind of freed up to help all over the place. Nick Gazier's doing all of the defensive line instead of just the D tackle. So maybe Coach Braun will help a little bit more with the defensive line. But they have some other assistant coaches that help with that as well. So it's a little bit different for him to be freed up and just work with the entire defense.
This is the first time, at least that I can recall since I've been around, and probably the first time ever, that a defensive coordinator hasn't also had a position group. And well, what does that really mean? I haven't been a coach and I haven't been in those rooms like that, but I gotta think it like you said, it frees you up to become more creative. He's talking about all the personnel and all those DBs that he just mentioned that you need to get on the field. Well, how do you come up with creative solutions to get them on the field, or put them in the best position, or find a rotation that works where you're not messing with people's rhythm and things like that? So I think it really frees them up when you don't have to be so concerned. I mean, I coach a position group now in high school. I know it's completely different, but you feel like a responsibility for that group. Like if they're messing up, like it's on me. He can kind of free up now. Yeah, I can bounce around to different places, and I can kind of, again, be creative with this defense, and I can really dive deep into game plans and do all those things that coaches love to do, and go back and watch film from 2015 and things that we were like, what are you doing? And go back and find that little detail that you might have missed, and leave no stone unturned.
And they have some unique, I think, bodies to work with. Julian Wodarchik's maybe top one on that list of a guy that's 6'3", 6'4", safety, but now can go to that outside linebacker where there's a lot of coverage responsibilities at that linebacker position he's in a battle for right now. Can he win that job? Obviously, a lot of experience. He's been in the defense a ton. Now it's just a different position, and you got a different middle linebacker, so he's probably working closely with those linebackers a bit. But Code Green's got so many players back. I'm sure this year is a year where he probably looks and says, man, got so much depth at different places, just trying to maybe find one piece here or one piece there, and you got to try and find a new quarterback of the defense, which is a little bit of a major hole or a major position where you're trying to find someone not only that can play well but can also organize the defense.
Well, yeah, for sure. You need that guy. You need that guy to be the voice. And the good thing is they have one coaching him that was really good at that in one Grant Olson. But these good problems that you would say, the good problems to have, it creates an opportunity where you have to find creative solutions to be better. You don't want to waste this opportunity. There's not every year, and I think COVID has created this, but there's not every year where you're going to have this kind of depth. Where you're going to have this at every. It seems like, I know linebacker is one of them, but it seems like at every position along that defense, you just don't have question marks. And realistically, even sometimes in your second team, you don't have question marks. These are guys you want to get on the field, so you want to take advantage of that, and you want to find ways to put guys again in the best situation and use their talents to the best of their abilities that fits within the scheme. And I think that's going to be his challenge as a coordinator this year.
You've already used one of your best depth pieces at safety, moving him to linebacker and Julian Wodarchik, and you still aren't playing Dom Jones.
Exactly.
I mean, Dom Jones is still there. You can. The thing is, you can move Tutsi down for a snap and put him at outside linebacker, but then now Wodarchik is off.
Well,
there's just so many different pieces you can put.
Here's the thing with the linebacker situation is, and I know they'll find someone to plug in, but even if there's a guy you're like, we're not crazy about him on third down, and we get into passing, well, go to dime, play 6 DBs on the field at a time, play 7 DBs on the. You know what I mean? Like you can do that. You can get to that situation.
Just let Dawson Weber rush.
Yeah,
defensive end.
I mean,
standing up.
You put James Kaiser, because James Kaiser was also safety at one point, I believe.
I think so.
So you put him in as the Mike linebacker in a dime situation, then you have 6 other DBs on the field, and it's like, okay, you got a lot of speed on the field at that point. So those are just like the little things when you have the personnel that you have that you can kind of switch up and look at and see if it makes sense.
We always talk about Tyler Roehl getting really creative with stuff. Now, David Braun does have the pieces. He's got the weapons.
Yep, that's right.
This isn't supposed to be a slight to defensive linemen or anything, but you got those DBs that are a little bit bigger, all that 6'3", 6'4", maybe a 210, 220. Man, those guys can just do so many different things if you trust them in coverage. If they can do the coverage stuff and they can come down and still fit the run, because your defensive tackles aren't matched up against a receiver on the outside. You've got weapons that can go different places. He can mix and match a ton of stuff right now.
I would say a DB getting exposed is a lot different than a D lineman getting exposed, right? A lot of times. And now within the scheme of the defense, you'd probably they're still equally as responsible, right?
Because you can't go too small, then teams are going to run it down.
Well, no, I'm saying like if a D lineman on a one-on-one pass rush gets beat, it's not the end of the world. If a DB in one-on-one situation gets beat and it's a go route, and now it's a touchdown. So that's where, you can rotate some guys. Maybe if you don't feel great about matchups, as long as they can hold their own, you'll be all right. Now, you talk about coverage. That's where you can get exposed a little bit. That's where, like you said, you have to have guys you can trust, guys that can run, guys that can cover.
Yeah, and they definitely have plenty of those guys. I mean, David Braun, I've talked to him before. I think he told me they can go like 6 deep in the cornerback room right now. And that's just the cornerbacks. Then you throw in the safeties that aren't necessarily going to be matching up man on man on a lot of guys, but you trust them enough to do that in certain situations. So got plenty of guys that can cover at least a little bit. We'll take a break here, though, on the Insiders. We'll come back, find out about some of the great events and concerts happening around the FM area here when we talk with our friends at Epic Companies next.
Champions play here.
This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play. No disrespect whatsoever, but I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth. He has small hands. He can't catch the ball.
You're home for the Thundering Herd. Bison 1660.
It's August, and that means it's time for the annual Schumacher Tire Sale. For over 25 years, Schumacher Tire has been giving you the best deal on Cooper tires with their buy 3 Cooper tires at regular price and get the 4th tire free. If you haven't taken advantage of this sale, now is the time to jump on board and get new Cooper tires on all of the vehicles in your household. So check your tires and hurry into your full-service auto repair shop and Cooper Tire dealer, Schumacher Tire, located on 13th Avenue in Fargo.
The second annual El Zagel 9 Holes in 1 Challenge. Sunday, August 28th. You could win cash prizes from Nearson Chevrolet Cadillac, Gateway Chevrolet Cadillac, Stutzman Harley Davidson, RDO Moorhead, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Camping World, Fargo Force Hockey, Town and Country Credit Union, Buffalo Wild Wings. The Hole-in-One Challenge is on all 9 holes, plus cash prizes for closest to the pin and putting. It's the second annual 9 Holes in 1 Challenge to help all El Zagel. Register now at e-z-holein1.com.
Dakota Refrigeration has been helping the Bison succeed behind the scenes. From their training room to their dining room, from milk to medicine, from ice to ice cream, Dakota Refrigeration has been serving Minnesota, Montana, and the Dakotas for over 4 decades. Locally owned and operated since 1974, Dakota Refrigeration is a full-service source for your refrigeration, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and electrical needs. Dakota Refrigeration, located in Fargo, Bismarck, and Minot.
Finally, beautiful weather is here, and so is a summer of fun. That means more time in your car. Make sure your vehicle is ready at one of the 3 locally owned Jiffy Lubes of Fargo. Oil changes are the #1 maintenance item that's neglected. At Jiffy Lube of Fargo, it's easy. No appointment needed. Just drive up and drive in for your signature service oil change. Plus a check on the priority items to make sure your vehicle is working hard and can get you everywhere you want to go this summer. Jiffy Lube of Fargo has proudly served the Fargo-Moorhead Metro for over 5 decades. Jiffy Lube of Fargo, where you can do more in a jiffy.
Here's your Red River Valley weather update on Bison 1660.
Beautiful sunny skies out today on your Wednesday, a high that's going to be in the mid-80s as well. Tonight, though, we do have a 30% chance of some showers and possible thunderstorms with more clouds coming into the area and a low of 63. Tomorrow, stormy conditions and a high of 80. This weather update brought to you by Heartland Trust Company, an independent and local trust company where their priority is your financial future. Visit them online at heartlandtrust.com.
Summer is usually the time when you're completing a long to-do list. If one of those things requires an electrician, then you need Rick Electric. It's Chris Hansen, and they've done plenty of great projects at our house. Rick Electric's been doing big projects and small projects all over the area since 1964. For your safety and for that of everyone around you, skip the DIY YouTube electrical work and call the experts at Rick Electric, 233-6194. RickElectric.com. Chris Hoffman is the founder and owner of Bonanza Agronomy Services, an independent consultant and seed provider. Chris, during these times, why is it so important to be working with an independent agent like Bonanza Ag?
When you're an independent, you literally cry when your customer cries, and you win when your customer wins. Because my company doesn't survive without farmers, period.
Make your operation run and perform better today. Meet Chris and Bonanza Ag on Facebook or at bonanzaag.com. That's bonanzaag.com.
This is NDSU head men's basketball coach Dave Richmond, and you're listening to The Insiders on your home for NDSU athletics, Bison 1660.
Welcome back to the Insiders here on Bison 1660, brought to you each and every day by the great team at Proceed, online at proceed.net. If you need seed, think Proceed. Small break from football conversation for something that's even more fun. Cool events around the area. I love concerts. You know, Kyle's a big music guy. You love going out to concerts, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who doesn't like going out to a concert?
I've been to one in a while, but I need to.
Yeah,
well, for sure.
We've got the hookup for you in studio, inside our Thorold's and Ethanol Broadcast Center right now. We've got Mackenzie Broughton of Epic Companies nice enough to stop by. Great to see you again. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Doing well, thanks.
I asked that knowing that you are pregnant and you're sitting here with us close to the due date, and we appreciate you coming. I don't know why you would do that. You know, put yourself to very dedicated to the job, no doubt about it. But congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, exciting time, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So Epic Companies, you guys got so many events, so many different concerts you put on from Fargo, West Fargo, the surrounding areas over the summer. I know you've had Big and Rich. You've had a few other ones here recently. Hairball was a great showing, I heard. What of the turnout? What's the feedback you've gotten been like so far?
Yeah, so far so good. Last weekend we had 3 concerts in a row, so it's kind of a doozy when you have that many in a row. But I think the unique thing is that they were many different genres. We had Big and Rich on Thursday evening, followed by Hairball Friday night, which was the biggest one, and then Nitty Gritty on Saturday. So we kind of hit up a lot of different audiences, I guess, when you think of who all came to those showings. And yeah, we were happy. The weather was great. Couldn't complain.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you can get a lot of people out to Essentia Health Plaza at the lights, I think is great. It's great for them to see it and check out the area.
What's that venue been like? What have you heard from artists and fans that have gone out there? I think it's a great new event area, great new facility. It's fun in the winter too. I like ice skating there.
Yeah.
Learning how to ice skate the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But what's that feedback you've been hearing about what the lights in that facility is like?
I think every time an artist comes there, they have trouble believing that, like, wow, this is, like, actually always here,
Mm-hmm.
You have the buildings around it that protect you from the elements. Even Big Kenny from Big and Rich, he kind of looked over at us and said, this is one unique place. So that was pretty cool to hear. I think we get a lot of good response from the artists and just people coming out, too. It's an outdoor venue, so you never know what to expect sometimes with the elements, but we've done a really good job at just making sure everything is very planned out, getting people in and out, making sure that we have like the VIP option in the standing room, and then just, of course, making people have a great experience there.
Yeah. Again, Mackenzie Broughton, Epic Companies here with us. How do you decide who you get? How do you decide what bands? I know there's a long process to it. It's probably too long to talk about now, but what goes into that decision?
We have a booking agent that we work with out of St. Cloud, and then our VP of events and plazas, Lance Johnson, he kind of just sees what's coming through town, what could be a good option, what would fit to the audience. Of course, we try to get a good variety, but sometimes it's hard not to get some country acts when where we live, of course, so that those tend to be kind of who we go with. But it seems like we've also put in bids for a lot of different other acts in hopes that some of them will take a chance on the area and want to come check it out. The venue itself holds about 3,500 to 4,000 people, so we've kind of got that down with a good niche there. And then as more businesses continue to open up over there, it seems like they are also having their patios that cater to the people as well, with their meals and drinks that people can go sit on the patio as well and enjoy the concert. So I feel like we really try to make sure that we can get a good variety of music, but also who's traveling through the area at the time.
They've done a great job with it so far. I'm just on the epicevents.nd.com page right now, and the act on the front page is Tiger Lily. So you know them, obviously from North Dakota as well. We got August 27th at the lights as well. Talk about a fun artist coming into town. Diamond Rio going to be there on the 27th.
So that Diamond Rio is going to wrap up our events for the season over at Essentia Health Plaza at the lights. Chris Hockey from the Famous Armadillos, he's going to open up, so that's kind of a fun one.
That's great.
People like to see him. So that'll be on Saturday, 7 p.m., starting with the opener, 8 p.m. show. Tickets are still available. We did just release a few more VIP tickets for that one. So if you're interested at all, make sure you log on and get your tickets. Last chance, like I said, to be able to come out and enjoy one of our concerts there. But when you're talking about Tiger Lily, that kind of goes into our next point, which is the Norse Huss Fest, which is something that we also help promote, and that's in Minot coming up in September. So on Friday, we're actually going to be announcing our replacement acts. We had some unfortunate luck with Lady A and Toby Keith, where both of them had to cancel their tours this past fall, but we have some great acts coming to replace them. Tiger Lily opens for Big and Rich on the first evening. We have Daniel O'Donnell, we have Texas Tenors, Brantley Gilbert, and Old Crow Medicine Show right now on the lineup there. So that's the end of September, September 28th through October 1st, and we still have tickets for that available. If you haven't heard of the Huss Fest, it's actually the largest Scandinavian festival in North Dakota, And when I say North Dakota, I mean North America, actually. It's the largest one in North America. We're just so lucky to host it here in North Dakota. So that's kind of exciting. So I always encourage people, come check it out. There's so much to do there. And the entertainment this year is really phenomenal. So stay tuned for Friday. We have some good ones coming.
There you go. Yeah, the entertainment sounds like a great lineup. And I've never gotten a chance to go, but because living in the Twin Cities, I never really knew about it until I moved to North Dakota. I do have friends that I've gone, I've seen pictures. I want to go at some point. It's just football season. We're always busy this time of year. Yep. But Husfest sounds like a great time. It's Scandinavian, makes sense for this part of the country as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Some different vendors, different food, different things you can do there that you don't do at many other festivals, basically.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the one thing with Epic too is that we have our event side, we have our building side. We have so many things that kind of encompass our mission of enhancing communities through innovative development. Another aspect of us too is our art side. And we have resident artists on staff. We have an art coordinator. And actually tonight out at Essential Health Plaza at the Lights is the Community Art Experience. And that's a family-friendly event where you can come out, bring your family. They can do hands-on art, take home art. We have multiple booths there, multiple sponsors. It's free to attend from 6 to 8. So I encourage everyone to come check it out if you're in town. It's just a really great way to get your kids to be able to, use their creative side and be able to bring home that art, display it on the wall. So we're always kind of thinking of different things we can do as well. We have our concert side, but of course we have our art and culture side, and then we have our mixed use side with our buildings, our condos, the water park, everything that we do there as well. So kind of all encompassing, but just making sure that we just provide a great quality of life for the communities that we're in.
We've talked with Eric Goulis about the Wave, the indoor water park coming from Epic Companies as well. That is something I might have a count on already in my apartment of when's this thing coming. I want to get ready for the Wave. You mentioned the family-friendly community art experience going on tonight, 6 to 8 p.m. over at the Lights. I'm just going to go through a few of these things. It's a creative event, but also creative what they're doing at the event. Light bulb sand art from Cass County Electric. That sounds really cool. Homemade slime, all about homemade slime. Crafty plant pots and succulent planting. Styro printing with the NDSU Interior Design Program as well. Temporary tattoos. So don't freak out, parents. Temporary tattoos out there. And a DIY medals and spike ball kit as well. Just a couple of the things you got going on there. That's all sounds very creative.
Yeah, we have a ton of great sponsors this year, and they come out and they actually provide a craft themselves at the booth. So that's been really cool to be able to pair up with so many great community partners. And then, of course, just being able to see, one thing I always say is like seeing people come into an event a little unexpected, but seeing their faces when they leave and the experience they had. That's really why we do a lot of the events that we do, including this art event tonight. So can't wait to see some family and children out for that.
Yeah, that sounds great. By the way, Kyle, build your own craft pizza, also a thing at the community event.
Sounds like something I could be interested in.
What would be on the Kyle Emanuel craft pizza?
Oh, I mean, I'm not that creative when it comes to cooking. I'm probably just a lot of meat. Just throw it all on there.
If it has protein in it, throw it on.
Meat dessert pizza, yeah.
Okay.
About it.
Mackenzie, controversial opinion. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes.
There you go. I'm with her on that. I'm absolutely with you on
I've come around on that as well.
Yep,
I
absolutely.
Most definitely. That's my favorite slice.
There you go. Yes, Hawaiian style. There we go. Well, Mackenzie, always appreciate you guys coming in. So many great events. Obviously, what you had here just a couple of days ago and coming up with Diamond Rio and the art event going on tonight. Looking forward to what you guys got going on the rest of the summer and going on into next year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And make sure to get your tickets at epiceventsnd.com. And, of course, follow along on our journey because we have a lot more to come this fall at epiccomepaniesnd.com. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Hour number 2, Tyler Roehl, offensive coordinator, joined Rob Hipp. We'll have that conversation next.
Cardinal IG would like to shine the spotlight on their employees celebrating August anniversaries. Dan Schlatt is celebrating 24 years. Gil Nones, 16 years. Abdi Dodd, 6 years. Ben Duthat and Samir Habib are both celebrating 3 years. And Ibrahim Abdil, Mohammad Dahir Kahin, and Pauline John are all celebrating their first year. From the entire team, thank you. Cardinal IG offers competitive pay, outstanding benefits, and an extensive training program. Now hiring for production technicians and maintenance technicians. Apply online at cardinalfargo.com.
Headaches, anxiety, chronic pain, or sick kids? What we have been sold as health fixes to these and many other symptoms are nothing more than expensive, sometimes dangerous, and often scary ways to cover them up. I'm Dr. Jake Grinocker, and at Strive Chiropractic, we got tired of scare, care, and disease management. Our team of doctors listen, empathize, and use the latest technology to uncover your issues, then develop a customized plan to take back your health. Are you ready for real health? Check out our special VIP new patient offer for Bison listeners at striveonbob.com.
When it's time to find a realtor, word of mouth is important, and Todd Cattermas with Beyond Realty is a name Bison Nation says often. Todd has helped everyone from coaches and administrators to broadcasters and former players and their families buy homes in the FM area. So many in Bison Nation trust Todd to buy and sell their homes, and you can too. Call Todd Cattermas with Beyond Realty today or visit him in person at 4832 Amber Valley Parkway in Fargo. Todd is a proud partner and the preferred realtor of NDSU Athletics. Todd Cattermas with Beyond Realty. Moving the herd one home at a time.
My DQ is on 52nd Avenue and in Dilworth.
Try the Blizzard of the Month, Reese's Take 5. Made with Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, pretzel bites, peanuts, and caramel topping. While you're there, pick up a box of Dilly Bars for the office and make everyone's day. Shake up your lunch routine with the A1 Signature Stack Burger with thick and hearty A1 steak sauce, creamy peppercorn sauce, and crunchy onion rings right on the burger. Visit My DQ on 52nd Avenue and now in Dilworth with the same great owners of both locations.
Theraldson Ethanol, the ethanol plant located in Castleton, North Dakota, is accepting applications for a process operator. Work 4 days on, 4 days off, night and day swing shifts. Applicant must have a general understanding of process and operating procedures and a willingness to learn procedures for the ethanol industry. Theraldson Ethanol offers on-the-job training and an excellent benefits program. Email your resume to rcarter@theraldsonethanol.com or apply in person at 3549 153rd Avenue Southeast in Castleton, North Dakota.
KQWB West Fargo, KPFX HD3 Kindred, and K224FD Fargo. Bison 1660, powered by Gateway Chevrolet, Cadillac, Nissan, and Hyundai in Fargo.
And here's what you need to know.
Chargers safety Derwin James is now the highest paid safety in the NFL. Chargers gave James a 4-year extension worth around $76.5 million. NFL Network says that James gets $29 million guaranteed in the first year and $42 million guaranteed overall. Staying in the AFC West, Chiefs wide receiver Mecole Hardman was taken off the field today on a cart during today's workout as trainers were examining his left leg. The Patriots and Panthers got into another scuffle during their joint practices, with the latest altercation involving Carolina running back Christian McCaffrey. NBC Boston reports the skirmish extended into the first row of fans, where a woman was hit on the foot by a player's helmet. She refused medical attention and was reportedly given tickets to an upcoming Patriots game. San Antonio Spurs announced that 65,000 fans will be allowed to attend their game at the Alamo Dome on January 13th. I'm Dan Beyer.
You've got the insiders.
How you play today, from this moment on, is how you will be remembered.
That's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face.
Bringing you what you need to know and a whole lot more. Topics you care about, guests you know, and the conversations you came to hear. The Insiders are presented by Proseed. Need seed? Think Proseed. Now, here are the Insiders.
The Insiders. The Insiders.
The Insiders.
Insiders.
The Insiders. Andy Rickoff and Bison great Kyle Emanuel.
12:03, start of hour number 2 on the show here on this Wednesday edition, midweek edition for you. Andy Rickoff, Kyle Emanuel, Micah Bindi, and you. You can watch us on Facebook on our Horsch Cam. Horsch, Farming with Passion, online at horsch.com, HORSCH. Doing a great job with that one. Just one Micah Bindi back there. You kind of got it down at this point, right?
Yeah,
new camera
it's kind of just
a little finicky.
Part of me now.
Yeah, you're like a part-time, basically filmographer or something back there.
Filmographer.
Yeah, you're like a director.
Can I put that on my resume?
Put that on the resume. Yeah,
sweet.
Director.
He's got
a what?
Don't even let me talk anymore.
What was
Filmographer.
That
Yes. Good thing you're behind the camera.
He's got it down so well that he's able to keep up with everything that's going. He knows every single play that has happened at this Vikings 49ers practice.
He sure has.
I just won't understand. It's like you telling us about a 4th and 10 where Trey Lance ducks under and hits the Debo Samuel for 25
on that note, let's go back to our joint practice correspondent live.
What else
behind
is
the desk? Got the sound effect?
Oh, you want the breaking news?
Yeah.
Well, let me just switch pages here.
That's okay. I'll give you a second. So we'll take a second here and jump away from the big kids table and go to our correspondent live at Vikings 49ers joint practice, basically live via social media. Here's Micah Bindi.
Live here at 49ers and Vikings training camp in the joint practice, we have a Kirk Cousins update. He hit Adam Thielen over across the middle in 11-on-11 period, and he proceeds to turn back to the Vikings bench and players and says, "You like that? You bleepin' like that."
Do we know what the bleep was? I think there's been some controversy.
Well,
the bleep it was actually bleepable.
It was
Kirk
bleepable.
Cousins doesn't say the bleepable things very often.
Maybe he got fired up.
There's been conflicting reports. I've seen 3 trustworthy sources. Matthew Collar was saying that he did swear.
Purple Insider.
But then Luke Braun said he wouldn't do that. So
No, he'd never do that. I mean,
we're gonna have to
you're probably
find
not
out.
you're gonna be sleeping on the couch. Wife sees that. Family sees that. No, Kirk. He's not.
Are you thinking?
Expletive?
Are you
guy.
going to change your prediction now after that? And now it's undefeated, right?
Oh yeah, if he's swearing, if he's cussing people out, and he's getting
he's
that
a
fired
new
up
guy.
over about like a 10-yard pass over the middle to Adam Thielen in joint practice, yeah, it might be 18-0 with only 17 games on the schedule.
Well, Micah was telling you that Trey Lance catch or pass that I was just talking about. He said it was on 4th and 10. How do you have 4th and 10 in a practice? That's what I want to know.
Simulation.
I mean, you can simulate it, but like
towards the end of the game,
Pressure
need a
packed moment.
touchdown. You're at the 50-yard
But it
line,
doesn't
4th
really
and
matter.
10,
It's
and
Trey
you need a
Lance
touchdown.
ducked
and
under
that
the oncoming
is what
pressure.
Trey Lance does.
Ducked under the oncoming pressure and hit Deebo Samuel for like 20 yards.
Now,
Yeah, 25.
There are times in practices where you're like, okay, this is a 4th down. If you convert it, you stay on the field. If not, we're going to switch to the next segment of practice or whatever. But there's also times where you do that and it's just over. So it is what it is. I guess they try and simulate it, but it doesn't really matter. They could also just keep going, right? Oh, we didn't get the 4th down. We're just going to keep going.
Every play
Do-overs.
matters.
Then we'll do a 4th and 8.
Yeah,
We'll do 4th and 12.
4th and 11 this time instead of 4th and 10.
So it's like, it's a 4th down, but like
This is the defensive guy coming out in Kyle. He's
Every
so jealous
play
right now. 'cause
matters.
All these joint practices, it's all offense. It's all for the fans. We're gonna, everything favors the offense. You can't even tackle anybody. You can't do anything on defense. So you just don't like the offense and the entertainment value of joint practices because you're a defensive player.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
That's what's
You
coming
gonna
out of me
admit it?
right now.
You gonna admit
no,
it?
I just
No?
don't
Okay.
necessarily care that someone
fair.
converted a 4th and 10 in a joint practice.
Trey Lance though, ducking under,
This is good.
making
Yeah,
moves,
it's cool. It's good
looking
play.
good.
It's good play.
You told me earlier he hit Danny Gray on a deep ball.
Yeah, Patrick Peterson got beat by Danny Gray.
He told me that Patrick Peterson got beat by, so he's the older, slower cornerback against the rookie speedster. I'm like, well, that doesn't really matter. That's like cheating. You can't put the speedy guy on the old guy like that. But then he said Trey Lance completed the pass. I said, no, okay, now it counts.
Now it's fine.
Now it's fine.
Now
Now
you're
it's
okay with it.
okay.
All right,
I'm
fair
fine
enough.
with that one. We'll get more updates on joint practices around the NFL from Micah Bindi, who is an addict back there. He is checking everything. He's told us updates from the Packers, Saints practices, all sorts of stuff going on back there. So more with our correspondent in just a little bit. But right now, let's go and hear from Rob Hipp again. Had a great conversation with offensive coordinator Tyler Roehl. We talked with the defensive coordinator in the first hour. Here's Rob Hipp's conversation with Tyler Roehl from Media Day.
Rob Hipp here with offensive coordinator, tight ends, and fullbacks coach Tyler Roehl. Of course, All-America running back from 04 to 08 here at NDSU. Came back as the tight ends and fullbacks coach back in 2014, offensive coordinator since 2019. And so many accolades behind this program and what you've been able to do through these guys, Coach. Won 7 FCS titles, 8 conference titles with the Bison. Talk about a second-rate rushing offense in the FCS a season ago, averaging just over 280 yards per game, third most in school history with just over 4,200 yards. Fullback Hunter Lipke was force in that championship game. Just talk a little bit about his play and what's expected of him heading into this new season.
Yeah, for us offensively, everything's going to start up front. From an offensive line standpoint, we're going to be masters at moving the line of scrimmage. The tight ends, fullbacks, receivers, they're all heavily involved in what we're going to do in the run game. And then to have a guy like Hunter Lipke who, with any given play call scheme, he needs to have an understanding of what the tight end's doing, what the fullback's doing, what maybe a second or third tight end is doing, and then obviously from a running back standpoint, he needs to know what the running back's doing. An extremely low ego kid who, isn't going to come up and beg for the ball, isn't going to turn it down when you're putting the ball in his hands. High capacity kid who has a high level of learning and understanding of the game, and has a relentless work ethic. A kid who is a 2-time state champ wrestler, hustler, blue-collar kid who just wants to get out there and work and has a relentless passion for the game. He provides a lot, in terms of on the field, but also off the field for our team.
So much talent on this team. We've heard so many names today, of course, but just on that offensive side, other guys to really keep an eye on this season, Coach.
Yeah, again, I'm always going to start up front. Cody Malk, who's an unbelievable talent for us, Jalen Sundell, Nash Jensen, Jake Kubis, Gray Zabel, Mason Miller, guys who up front, Coach said it, there's 8, 9, maybe 10 guys who we can infiltrate up front and not feel like we're going to lose a beat at all. At the tight end position, Noah Gindorf, who's an All-American tight end. Joe Stoffels really making a push to play multiple repetitions for us. Hunter Brosio, has always been a fullback. He's going to be able to create more value for himself within the offense and be multiple within what we're doing. Logan Hofstad, the same thing. And then you look at who's, 3, 4, 5 tight end, and you look at Jacob Streit, Finn Diggins, Carson Williams, Truman Weremeyer, guys who are creating more value for them themselves throughout fall camp. Receiver-wise, again, it's a lot of depth. And Phoenix Sproles, Braylon Henderson, Raja Nelson, Jake Lippy, Tyler Terhart, GC Volpentesta, DJ Hart. Again, how can we continue to put those guys in a position to be successful? Whether it's slot outside, create matchups for them, put them in a position where they can go and execute versus whatever. Quarterback-wise, Cam and Cole are really doing a nice job. Cam is the leader of our offense, and the way he played down the stretch is unbelievable. Continue to put him in stressful positions on the field during practice, and continue to preach composure and leadership, and that's all he's done. Running back-wise, again, a ton of depth. One guy who's really stood out to me, TK Marshall, but Kobe, Dom, Jalen, looking to get Tamarick back. Bari Capino's doing a nice job. Owen Johnson, I'm sure I've missed someone. But a group that has a ton of depth. And excited for these guys just to continue to work. They're not leaving anything to hope. Hey, I hope I can play. Hey, I hope I can do some things for the team. They're just continuing to work and, find a place for themselves, find a role for themselves on the offense.
So much depth, so many opportunities for these guys. And we talked earlier a little bit about the word culture, and there's so much excellence that's built around this program, Coach. How would you kind of define that excellence, and how does it tie into the culture? And really, what is that culture here with the Bison? It's been something that's been around for a long time, but kind of how would you define that, Coach?
Yeah, it's a culture of championship level performance. We truly, in my belief, in being here for 15 years, it's a championship culture, and we're truly committed to excellence in everything we do. There's a level of trust within everyone, because if you don't have trust, you don't have anything. There's a positive energy, an attitude, a mindset of how we're going about doing things, but we're going to do it with a high level of discipline, hold each other accountable, and hold ourselves accountable to the standard that's in place, and confront and demand excellence out of every single person in the building to do things better than they've ever been done before. And we're going to work. Like I said, hope isn't our strategy. We're not going to leave things to hope. Hope that we're ready. Hope that we're got our ducks in a row for week 1. We're just going to continue to work, be prepared, be the most prepared team that we can be.
Coach, again, appreciate your time. Looking forward to this upcoming season, seeing this offense. It's going to be a blast up there in that broadcast booth. We appreciate your time. Again, Coach Roehl.
Thank you. Go Bison.
That's Rob Hipp's conversation with offensive coordinator Tyler Roehl. Got on a few different topics there with him. Another great conversation, and Tyler's always phenomenal. I mean, you know Tyler fairly well from your kind of just playing days, and not playing days, but being around him when he was a coach and different things like that. What's the mentality of that guy? Can you get into the psyche of Tyler Roehl at all for us?
I don't know if I can, because I don't know if I can reach that level of intensity and that enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could just hear him. When we had him on live and we were talking to him, you could hear it then, and you could hear it right there when he was talking to Rob, like his love and his passion for football, but just this place. He grew up in West Fargo. He's been around this program seems like forever, and his love for it and his passion, it you can tell. It comes out of him, it exudes. It's something that is pretty evident, and it's pretty evident with the way his offense plays, it's the way his fullbacks and tight ends play, and he's passionate about getting better. And I love what he talks about. We're not gonna hope anything.
Hope isn't a game plan.
No, and that's a terrible game plan anyway in the first place, and he understands that. You win football games, you win national championships by preparing. And football probably more than any other sport. At least I'm going to say that because it's the sport I played the most. But you only have one game a week, and so preparation is so key. You have so much time to prepare, and who can do it. From the coaching staff to the players, and I don't know if I can get in the mindset of that guy because I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if you can be more about Bison pride than Tyler Roehl is.
Yeah, I really don't know if you can either. I mean, he ends every interview with "Go Bison." That's a big thing. It's a small thing, but he definitely has a lot of passion, not just for NDSU, from this area. I mean, West Fargo high school grad, around this area growing up, went to NDSU games, played at NDSU, now back obviously as a coach. Do you think he takes more pride in offensive coordinator or tight end and fullbacks coach?
Ooh,
if you had to put on a business card, you got to put offensive coordinator first.
Yeah, but it's like the higher up position, so that makes sense. But I think it all works together, right? I mean, I think if he would tell you if his tight ends and fullbacks are doing what he's coaching them to do and playing with intensity, and I think sprint to hit is one of his sayings that I see him post on Twitter a lot. If they're doing all that, then the offense is going to be clicking as well. Because, he's got them. That's his position, but he's also in charge of the whole ordeal, right? The whole thing's got to be clicking. I thought you were going to ask is he take more pride in being the offensive coordinator or like being the running back at NDSU when he played. I think that's a
good question too.
It's I haven't coached at my alma mater before, but I think just in the little bit of coaching that I have done, it's a different sense of pride as a coach, but it's similar. It's along the lines. You work with these guys every day, and when you see a player improve and you see a player do something that you've coached them to do, and then they go out in the field and it leads to success for that guy individually and for the team. I mean, the sense of accomplishment that you feel as a coach is similar to when you're doing it as a player. So I think, I think that'd be a good question for him.
That's the next one. Have him on next time.
I have no idea how he'd answer it. I think it's probably, again, it's a little bit of both. But either way, he's done a great job, and I love having him here with this program. It's great just having former players that understand the history and everything that surrounds NDSU and the community and Fargo and North Dakota State. Like, there's a sense of pride around it that only former players can kind of understand, and that's why it's great to have guys like him on staff.
If there's anybody that knows the Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo community, it's Tyler Roehl. Yeah. He knows that pretty darn well. We'll take a break here. We'll come back, and we'll get to my list. NFL players, not just quarterbacks here, but players who are under the most pressure in 2022. See if I leave anybody off or if there's any controversial ones, and Kyle Emanuel can rip that apart when we come back here on The Insiders, brought to you by Proceed.
The most complete Bison coverage in the region. Your Bison Nation station.
You are deep in thought, which is always dangerous.
Bison 1660.
Don't let your profits get stuck in your truck. Let it slide with Super Slide. Super Slide is a plastic, non-stick, self-lubricating, and seamless liner that eliminates waste in your truck or on your trailer. Super Slide is available in various grades, widths, and thicknesses. And Horn Plastics can have you in and out in no time. Call today to get your installation scheduled so you can get every last dime out of your haul with Super Slide from Horn Plastics, created and perfected for every job. Visit hornplastics.com for more information.
Stop in today at Bernie's and shop their great selection of wine, beer, and liquor. From local brews and ready-to-drink cocktails to unique wines and worldwide brands, they're sure to have exactly what you're looking for. Find them on social at Bernie's Wines and Liquors or online at berniesfargo.com. Bernie's Wines and Liquors, serving the FM area for over 50 years. Located Midtown on South University Drive in Fargo and Cheyenne Street in West Fargo.
All your best times begin at Bernie's.
Please drink responsibly.
We all want to be part of a winning team, right? Hi, this is Marcus with Steamatic, and I am very proud of our team. Industry experts have voted Steamatic the best method of cleaning with our patented steam cleaning process, our 24-hour service, and highly trained technicians. We do it all from carpet cleaning, air duct cleaning, fire and water damage restoration, and remember, Bison fanatics choose Steamatic.
Steamatic, call 232-4707.
Tired of your vehicle sounding like this? Want it to sound like this? Or this? The exhaust experts at Braun's Automotive can help you. From exhaust, oil changes, brakes, alignments, and more, there's nothing the ASE certified technicians at Braun's Automotive can handle. With 3 generations of automotive experience, you can trust Braun's to get the job done right. Check them out on Facebook or at brunsautomotive.com.
Businesses should know that Consolidated Communications has the only data center in the FM area that is SOC 2 certified. That means Consolidated has tested reliable systems in place to protect your valuable data. That's more important than ever with today's security concerns. Many business insurance companies require SOC certification at data storage facilities. You should work with a local data center that is SOC 2 certified. For scalable, cost-effective data center solutions for your changing business needs, go to consolidated.com/data center.
The construction is almost done at the Gateway Clearance Center, and the construction sale is going strong. No negotiations necessary, and payments starting as low as $99 a month. That's right, payments starting at just $99 a month at the Gateway Clearance Center, with a great selection of clean used cars, trucks, and SUVs. And right now, every vehicle is sale priced. Enjoy extra discounts for the construction sale going on now at Gateway Clearance Center on South University Drive in Fargo, or online at fmclearancecenter.com.
You may not have heard, but the Insiders is now under new management.
Did you see the memo about this?
It's Kyle Emanuel and Andy Rickoff.
And I'll go ahead and make sure you get another copy of that memo. Okay?
The Insiders on Bison 1660.
Just after 12:21 on the program today, a Wednesday edition. A lot more stuff to get to the rest of this week. We will again have Matt Entz on Friday from the practice field, the coach walking off the field from the end of week number 3 of fall camp, which is probably seems like the time when people are getting really tired of playing against one another at that point and really wanting just to, that's when you want the joint practices. That's when you want something different. So
there is that element of the joint practice. I have said that. I wasn't a huge fan of them because I thought the intensity was that much more, and then there was always the
risk of
injury. Are we going to get into a fight?
Yeah.
And sure, the injury. That injury's there every single day. You just kind of let that one go. But it was a nice break from going against the same guy every time. But I didn't like it because you'd go, like the Vikings are doing, you go practice, and then get a day off, and then you play them. So it's just like, now it's like, it's almost become, now you get tired of going against that guy. You know what I mean? Like, you go against that guy for 3 days in a row. But college was definitely different. You going against basically the same guy for the entire time. They're definitely ready for a game, even though they still got
5 weeks, basically
17 days still. So it's a long time to just practice. It is. It's a very long time.
Even if you're switching up positions, offensive and defensive lines, you're going against the same guy most of the time, or the same couple of guys. So probably does get a little tiresome. Speaking of joint practices, we go back to behind the desk to our training camp / joint practice correspondent, one Micah Bindi, with the latest updates on Vikings and 49ers joint practice.
Trey Lance had a pretty good day today. He went 11 of 16. His most impressive play, as we talked about, was that 4th down play, and we learned that it was actually 30 yards, not 25 yards. So he's making plays. It was during
5 yards
during 2-minute drill. So Trey Lance making plays out there, torching the Vikings defense. Kind of what I expected.
What was the completions? It was
11 of 16, and there was a few drops in there I heard as well.
Okay, well,
or red.
Basically, it's 13 of 16. It's a really good passer rating.
Oh yeah,
but you can't like
170 some yards probably.
You can't take that all into consideration as like, oh, that's what he went. Like, you're doing situational stuff in these practices, right?
Yep.
Like, they're gonna do. Yeah, you might do a one team session where it's pretty similar to football, where you do and move the ball, but it's still going to be scripted. I would assume Trey Lance throws the ball 30 yards. They're still going to go from, oh, that was 1st and 10. Now it's 2nd and 6.
Because next play is the 2nd and 8.
Right, because that's what we had on our script. Or, okay, good job. Period. You went 3 and out, but you're going to stay on the field. Or now we're going to go red zone. Now we're going to go 2 minute. Now we're going to do 7 on 7. So what are you taking into account there? 7 on 7 count?
All I heard was 11 of 16, and he threw a 30-yard pass to Debo
Samuel
on 4th and 10, he's now climbing up the MVP odds.
I'm not trying to downplay. You have to have good practices. Good practices are a good thing to have. Obviously, it gives you confidence moving forward, gives your teammates confidence in you, and all that. Everything that goes along with having a good practice. But I'm just saying, it doesn't. Is it newsworthy? Maybe it is.
We also heard from Tom Pelissero, NFL Network, here in studio inside our Thurlton Ethanol Broadcast Center. Vikings had multiple sacks early on, and then Trey figured it out. quick learner. He processed stuff, got the right protections, figured it out, but a couple sacks early for that vaunted Vikings defense with Daniil Hunter and Zadarius Smith. The 3-4's looking good. Ed Donatel, there we go, DC, defensive coordinator. New stuff for the Vikes, so big fan of it. And then no fights? Are they done with practice?
No fights at the 49ers-Vikings practice for the first day. We'll see what day 2 brings.
That's what really matters. How many fights do they have?
But Kirk Cousins keeps throwing expletives around.
I was going to say.
People are about to start throwing hands.
They might come at him.
Yeah.
No.
Kirk should start throwing some hands. Ooh, Kirk gets into a fight?
That's newsworthy.
That's newsworthy.
Yeah,
that's feisty
100%.
Kirk Cousins. I like it. So that's maybe the next day. We'll have some more joint practice correspondence from Micah Bindi tomorrow because he is all over it. There's no doubt about that. Since we are a short break behind, we'll take a break here. Then we'll come back. You're still compiling your list of the players under the most pressure this year. So going through every single roster, kickers and everything like that, because kickers are under some pressure. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But then we'll come back. We'll go through my list of the top 10, maybe even top 12 players under the most pressure this year in the NFL. That's coming up next.
Bison Nation, your exclusive home for North Dakota State Athletics. Bison 1660.
Do you remember back to the days when business was conducted at the coffee shop? The details were written on a napkin and the deal was concluded by a handshake. If you were the supplier, you probably filled out the check and the amount, and if the guy really trusted you, you filled in the check register. The check might even have been a counter check. Now you can do it on our iPad or phone or get confirmation that the transaction was concluded by clicking the right button on your email program. Memories. Need seed. Think proceed.
Severe weather season is here, and with it can come storm damage. Heavy wind, rain, or hail can cause big problems for your roof. Thankfully, the experienced team at All-Star Construction is here to help. From repairing or replacing your roof to working with your insurance company, All-Star Construction will be there from start to finish. All-Star Construction's team of storm restoration experts will make sure all damage and coverage parameters are met. Visit allstarfargo.com and click Storm Damage to get started. All-Star Construction, your exterior experts.
Dakota Refrigeration has been helping the Bison succeed behind the scenes. From their training room to their dining room, from milk to medicine, from ice to ice cream, Dakota Refrigeration has been serving Minnesota, Montana, and the Dakotas for over 4 decades. Locally owned and operated since 1974, Dakota Refrigeration is a full-service source for your refrigeration, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and electrical needs. Dakota Refrigeration, located in Fargo, Bismarck, and Minot.
Altair Clinic has expanded. We are offering primary care services for your entire family, from pediatrics to adults. Hi, this is Dr. Tammy from Altair Clinic. We understand the importance of relationships. One of the most important relationships is between you and your medical provider. Altair Clinic has expanded to provide primary care services for your entire family. We offer care for newborns to teens, men and women, weight management, along with chronic disease care. Our staff is dedicated to provide the best treatment in a professional and personalized way. Call Altair to book your appointment today.
Tired of moving snow and mowing your own lawn? NV Condos at the Lights are set to open January 1st of 2023. If you are looking for the perfect place to call home, look no further than the 7th floor overlooking West Fargo at NV at the Lights. Buyers have the choice between finished packages, viewpoints, and can reserve their unit now. If you are interested in setting up a walkthrough to select your unit, visit condosbyepic.com. That's condosbyepic.com. We look forward to helping you find your next home.
Here's your Red River Valley weather update on Bison 1660.
Beautiful sunny skies out today on your Wednesday, a high that's going to be in the mid-80s as well. Tonight, though, we do have a 30% chance of some showers and possible thunderstorms with more clouds coming into the area and a low of 63. Tomorrow, stormy conditions and a high of 80. This weather update brought to you by Heartland Trust Company, an independent and local trust company where their priority is your financial future. Visit them online at heartlandtrust.com. Can go there and enjoy that over at the Lights with you got that special pizza you can make on your own, different things that are going on there over at the lights with Epic Companies. And Epic Companies brings you our phone line each and every day. Epic Companies, the area's premier real estate, investing, and development firm, online at epiccompaniesnd.com. The event side, epiceventsnd.com. They've got Diamond Reel coming up on August 27th, the last of their real big concert series here of the summer. One more training. This is the last one for today, Micah. One more update. The Vikings are doing what because Trey Lance is in town?
The Vikings have scheduled players from Marshall, Minnesota's football team to take that 3-hour drive to training camp, and they'll be able to go there and be at practice tomorrow. And the Vikings set it up, not the Niners.
From Marshall to Eagan. Look at the Vikings. That's a classy thing.
That is a cool move.
That's a classy move.
I can't deny that. Yeah, that's a cool move. You got to go see. I mean, that's probably all their hero, right? Like Trey Lance, hometown kid.
They didn't play with him.
Yeah, they didn't play with him, but they still know who he is. Guarantee you that.
Absolutely. No doubt about that one. That'll be cool. I know his parents and some other family members were in town today for that practice, and obviously Trey Lance, probably a little bit of a special, quote-unquote, homecoming for him. Also learned Kyle Shanahan was born in Minneapolis. I had no idea. I heard that from Tom Pelissero earlier, but there you go. He's one of us if you're a Minnesotan. Minnesotans are kind of weird like that. I take a lot of pride in people that are born there or from there, and if you're not, it's like got to earn the badge of honor and go through a couple of hard winters before they really accept you as one of them as a Minnesotan. But let's get to it. A little football bed music here. Enough putting it off. Got to get to the A topic of the show, which is my list. It's a top 12 list. Like, shocking. I've added a few to it because I couldn't make decisions. Top 12 players under the most pressure.
I'm going to start tearing you down right now. You said top 10. You have to make it 10.
I have to make it 10?
Make a decision.
Well, then I'm going to take a Vikings player out of it. I had Kirk Cousins at 11.
Oh,
I switched it up a little. He's out.
So
no Kirk Cousins. There's no Vikings player. Kirk Cousins would have been at 11. I think he's under pressure.
Yeah, for sure. I knew you were going to put him in.
Yeah, he's under pressure a little bit. Because if he doesn't perform this year, there's a chance they move on. I know people say the contract means they won't, but I don't think it's off out of the question that they trade him or try and move on from him after this season if they don't like what happens, because it is a new regime there. So then at number 10, we'll start at 10. I won't even go who was 12. I won't even mention it.
Thank you.
Travis Kelce. Lyle Collins comes in at 10. I go offensive line first.
Okay. I like it.
Lyle, then this is why he's at 10. He's not getting cut if he has a bad year. Nothing's really happening to him. He signed a big deal in the offseason, 3 years, $22 million, a little over $7 million a year. But he is the left tackle. He used to be the left tackle for the Cowboys. Now he's the left tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals. Who's that mean he protects? Joe Burrow. We've all said for a year and a half, 2 years, the Bengals got to get offensive line. They got to protect Joe Burrow. The guy's like the sacred savior of the entire
planet,
but for sure the state of Ohio. They have multiple teams in Ohio. That's why I was trying to think about something there. But I will say the state of Ohio, especially in Cincinnati there, he is the savior of that franchise. You've got to keep him healthy. This is the guy they brought in. They brought in some other people too, but this is the left tackle, blindside, personal protector. This dude is supposed to be here and keep Joe Burrow upright and give him time to throw to Jamar Chase. Got a little pressure on him. Got to perform there, even though he's going to have Cordell Volson right next to him. And they were at practice. I saw a video of training camp practice where Lyle Collins is teaching Cordell some of the technique stuff. So
I don't know if I'm agree with this one.
You're not going to agree right
off
the bat?
Top 10? I mean, again, I told you in the break, like, you can make an argument for any player in the NFL. You can make an argument for me. Like, everyone's got pressure. Sure, he has pressure. For me, if you look at the Bengals, it's more the offensive line as a whole. Yeah, he has to play well. Duh. I mean, he's starting left tackle, but
it's pressure.
The whole offensive line there has to play well. I think they have more pressure. I mean,
Jackson Carman's probably under a lot of pressure on that line right now because Cordell just passed him on the
So, yeah, I'm going to rip apart your number one. I do like the one offensive lineman. A little bit different.
Try to get an offensive lineman on there a little bit. Yeah, protect Joe Burrow. It's like the sacred savior of all things Cincinnati. Smoking cigars, going to Super Bowls. Yeah, he's going to be the MVP this year.
Right. He's on the right side, by the way. Jonah Williams is left tackle.
Oh, he's still right side, tackle. Whatever. He's a tackle.
He's still got to protect.
He's got to protect him. He's a tackle. Next up, I got Devontae Adams on the list. Big deal. But now you're not with Aaron Rodgers. Who were the last big receivers to leave Aaron Rodgers and go somewhere else? Greg Jennings didn't work so well. Jordy Nelson, ironically enough, went to the Raiders. Didn't work so well. Kind of flamed out immediately. Donald Driver didn't work. Like, everyone that's left the Packers, left Aaron Rodgers, it's just they don't work very well when they leave. Everyone wants to say, was it Devontae getting open or was it Aaron Rodgers getting him open? Derek Carr's still a good quarterback, so you don't have the excuse of my quarterback sucks. Like, he's a competent quarterback. Can Devontae Adams still be an elite receiver?
They also played together at college, which might help.
It probably will help.
A little bit different.
Just a little bit. So
might take some of that pressure off of him.
Well, I think it even ramps it up more because you've got a quarterback that you have a rapport with. Like you guys should pick up right where you left off. There shouldn't be I need like a year to kind of figure it out, get our timing down. No, you should be if you're the top receiver, you should be another top receiver this year, two or three.
I think in
every category.
I think there's pressure there internally, maybe, but that division's so good. Like if they're not great, like no one's gonna be like, oh, why didn't you win your division? The division's terrible. Like there's gonna be some pressure, no doubt. But
if they miss the playoffs, though,
I don't know about top 10.
If they miss the playoffs, then that's a lot of, you just went and got this guy for a record-setting contract, receiver. Like, is it worth it? If you don't get you got to the playoffs last year, didn't have him. Hunter Renfrow was good enough to get to the playoffs. Got Devontae Adams now. So he's on the list for me. The next one, Christian McCaffrey. This is 2 years. Signs a record-breaking deal for running backs. Nobody pays a running back. They paid him in Carolina. Never been hurt before. Next 2 years, misses well over 50% of each of the games those seasons in the last 2 years.
I like this pick.
He's got to stay healthy.
Yep.
Now, their team's probably not going anywhere, right? Probably not going to happen. That's why he's not further up the list. But he's got to stay healthy. He's not going to be cut or anything like that, but 2 straight years of basically not playing a lot, you've got to stay on the field and prove that you can play. Otherwise, definitely not going to get another big deal, but you're talking about maybe not lasting to the end of this current deal with Carolina if you can't stay on the field and be healthy. So he comes in there. That would be at number 7 or number 8. Sorry, number 8 on the list. Number 7 on the list, the guy we all know very well, Carson Wentz comes in on the list again. Third team in 3 years. We all know the story at this point. I still think it was a mistake from Indianapolis to move on from him after the year he put up last year. I know it was a very bad ending, and he'll take all the blame for it. But you're going to Washington. You're in a winnable division. This is really the last year of him being a for sure starting quarterback. If it doesn't work out in Washington, he goes somewhere else. He'll have a chance to win a starting job, but it's not a guarantee. This one, it's all but a guarantee. You can try and put some doubt in there if you want to, but it's Carson's job to lose. He's going to be the quarterback there of Washington. Can you get them to the playoffs? If you do, you're around for another year for sure. If they like what they see, but he's got to do it, and he knows he's got to do it. I don't need to put any more pressure on him. He knows all that kind of stuff, but I think he deserves to be on this list.
Agreed.
Okay.
I had him on my list.
You had him on your list too?
Yeah.
There we go. I want to know if you have this next person on your list. Number 6 for me is Ezekiel Elliott.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Although
Ezekiel
my list,
Elliott.
I was just kind of throwing together like in between breaks and stuff. So like, mine's not as complete as yours. It wasn't as well thought out. Okay. But I definitely I saw Ezekiel. He has to have a good year. He hasn't done anything since he got paid. Basically,
Nothing.
I don't remember him doing
and
much.
And Tony Pollard, people keep saying, and I kind of agree. When Tony Pollard gets the ball, he's more explosive right now than Zeke. He's got that younger running back juice, less wear on the tires, less hits taken to the body right now. This might be the last year for Zeke. They might just move on from him after this year. They can, I believe, kind of cut him and not eat so much dead money. And he's not going to get another big deal after this one. There's no chance at that. So this is a big year for him to prove, I'm still a good running back. I'm not just going to be, he might be out of the league or in one of those running back by committee type of things next year if he doesn't play well. Easily. So he's on this list for me. 5 through 1 are all quarterbacks. I think it's fair to say they usually have the most pressure anyways. I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson at 5. No matter what happens this year, he's going to get another deal. He's going to still be in the league. He's going to be fine. It's more of he's still looking for that contract right now. And if you're still looking for the contract, how big can that contract be? Can you be at MVP level, and then you're talking about breaking the bank again? Or are you someone that's maybe going to come a little bit under the top of the market for quarterbacks there? There's a big year for Lamar, and he was hurt last year too. Remember, that's his thing. He's a running quarterback. And he's slight of frame. He's not Cam Newton or Josh Allen. He'll take hits, and that body might break down a little bit sooner. He needs to stay on the field this year, too, because he was gone for about 6 or 7 games last year with a couple of ankle injuries.
I think, I had him on my list. I had him a little bit further down. I think, because, like you said, I think his pressure more comes from just for himself and trying to get this contract, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the pressure comes in. Obviously, there's pressure to win. He's had some good seasons there, but they haven't made it to the ultimate goal. I don't think there's as much pressure to win for him. I would say there's other quarterbacks. I would actually put. Well, I'm not gonna spoil it. You go ahead.
Yeah,
Keep
we got
going.
some more quarterbacks to get to,
Yeah.
for sure. I think there's some playoff pressure for him. He's gotten a couple wins in the playoffs, but not as many as some of the other quarterbacks who are at that top tier. Next for me, Kyler Murray. Got a big deal. He made all the stink. I could do the Jeff Culhane, Kyler Murray baby voice of oh, I'm going to take all my stuff down on Instagram and I'm going to move on from you and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to take you off of my bio on Twitter. Ooh. Baby Kyler Murray just whining and complaining over here. Thank you very much. I tried. I know our fans love the baby Kyler Murray voice. That was my best interpretation. But he got the big deal. He got what he wanted. He even got Marquise Brown, another receiver, another weapon. I know DeAndre Hopkins is gone for the first six weeks, but got everything you need there. Time to put it together. And he also, last 2 years, what's happened? Gotten hurt. He's missed multiple games. You got to stay healthy. You got to be on the field for 16, 17 games this year. And don't just start the season strong. Finish the season strong. Haven't won in the playoffs. Haven't, closed out a season very well the last couple of years. Him or Cliff Kingsbury. So I think there's a lot of pressure on Kyler Murray. At number 3 for me, I got Mr. Let's Ride himself, Russell Wilson. We've heard it for 2 years. What do you want?
Country. Let's ride.
He wanted out. He wanted out of Seattle. He didn't want to be riding in Seattle anymore. It was a big thing for basically 2 off seasons. Well, he gets himself traded, gets to Denver, and they got everything they need. Now, it's a tough division. Very tough. But you got Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton. I know Tim Patrick went down with an injury, but you got a couple of top receivers there. You got a good running back in Javonte Williams, good enough offensive line, and a defense that's loaded, absolutely loaded, and an offensive-minded head coach. You got everything you need. You wanted the trade. Yep. You're the one that wanted this. And also, it was just on the TV before the show started. In the NFL Top 100 thing that the players vote on, where Kirk Cousins was like 99 or something. Last year, Russell Wilson was 12. He was 61 this year. So even in the players' minds, he's slipping.
Falling off a little bit, yep.
Slipping quite a bit there from 12 to 61. And I think it's the same in a lot of other people's minds of, he's good, but he's not what he once was. Probably will never make another Super Bowl run. And you got to prove people wrong. There's some pressure on Russell Wilson.
I agree 100%. I actually had him at number 2 on my list. I think, and the Broncos have been there's pressure on the Broncos too in the sense that they've missed on so many quarterbacks since Peyton Manning. So many, not from the draft, from free agency. They tried Joe Flacco there for a while. Like
Brock Osweiler on the big deal.
Case Keenum was, I guess, okay for a while. I think he was there too. I mean, they've missed on so many quarterbacks. So there's also that pressure from the organizational standpoint. We got to hit on a quarterback, and if it's not this guy, then who is it?
Exactly. My last two. These are why these two are the last two. If they don't perform well, they'll lose their job, and they might not be a starter again in the NFL. Daniel Jones.
Yes.
There's a ton of pressure on him.
Good pick.
I mean, already we've heard Tyrod Taylor is taking first-team reps. We've already heard that after one preseason game. I think Brian Dable's already kind of like, man, this guy sucks. I want to move on from him so bad, but I know I can't because I don't want to trade for a Jimmy Garoppolo or somebody. I want to get a high pick and pick somebody that I really want and we can have on a cheap deal. But just have to basically suffer through a year of Daniel Jones. You're already seeing that. He's got to perform this year. If he doesn't, he's going to be off the Giants, and maybe he's a backup somewhere else, but he's not going to be guaranteed a starting job anywhere else. And then I got Tua. Tua Tagovailoa has the most pressure this year. I think it's fairly obvious, too.
I don't think it's debatable.
Because if he has a bad year with a new offense there, they've already been rumors the last couple of years. The Dolphins have so many picks, they can move on. Now, they did just lose their first-round pick for this next year because of the possibly meeting with Tom Brady and kind of that stuff, the tampering stuff. But they'll find a way to move on. They'll find a new quarterback. They almost got Tom Brady. They almost try to get after Aaron Rodgers. Like every quarterback that comes up, Jimmy Garoppolo's name has come up. Everybody's name has come up. If Tua doesn't perform, he's going to be out of there. Probably still gets another chance on a different team, but he's also got Jalen Waddle. Tyreek Hill was brought in. They brought in some running backs. Chase Edmonds is there. They brought in everything you could possibly want. Signed the best left tackle in free agency in Tavon Armstead as well. So they have got everything on that offense. If you can't succeed there, you're just not going to.
Yeah, and we heard for so long about tanking for Tua, and I never understood it. I just, nothing against the guy, but I don't think he does anything outstanding. What does he do that is special, that is better than even most quarterbacks in the NFL? He doesn't have a great arm. He's pretty accurate. Not overly big. He's not overly fast. He's not overly athletic
stuff. The camp footage of either the he threw a great deep ball or that was a duck. Either way, we're dissecting every throw from Tua.
I think he has a ton of pressure. To be honest, I mean, he might have a good year. I still don't think he is an elite quarterback in this league. I don't think he ever will be, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's got the most pressure on him with everything that surrounds him on offense and what the expectations there are. Now, do they have to win their division? Probably not, but you got to compete with the Bills. The Bills are really, really good. You got to make the playoffs, though, and you probably got to win a playoff game.
When his stats are going to matter, too.
Yeah.
You got to look at some of his – how are his numbers? You know, is he the reason we're winning games, or is he the reason we're losing games, you know?
Are you winning because of him or in spite of him?
Exactly.
That's what it usually comes down to. So there's my list. Did I leave anybody off?
Not bad. You know, as I look at my list, I'm like, I don't really love it. Like I said, I was doing it like in between.
Yeah.
I did have Josh Allen on my list. I think no, maybe not from like
expectations.
Like he's gotten paid. He's obviously not losing his job, but yeah, the expectations at Buffalo are high, like Super Bowl or bust. So I think anytime the expectations are that high, you got to throw the quarterback from that team on the list. I actually had J.J. Watt on my list.
Okay.
Now the reason being,
that.
like you could probably even put him more last year on this list than this year, but he hasn't done a lot. What have you done for me lately? He's been hurt a lot. He's he signs that big contract with the Cardinals when a lot of people thought he was going to go chase the Super Bowl. He chased the money instead. Been hurt so much. So I think he's got it's kind of to the point, like, is your career over, or do you still have something left in the tank? So that's why I threw J.J. Watt on there.
I thought about Tyreek Hill for the same reasons of Devontae Adams, like changing quarterback can still be good, but I think there's more pressure on Devontae Adams. And then I guess I did if Travis Kelce was thinking about that one, because Tyreek Hill's not there now. So more attention. Can you keep doing what you were doing before?
One other quarterback, and I know, again, he's not going to lose his job, but it was bad last year, is Trevor Lawrence. I think there's some pressure on him year 2. And again, it's not to win a Super Bowl, not even to win the division, maybe not even to win that many games, but like his numbers were bad last year. Like,
show more promise.
You got exactly. Just give us something to hope for the future. Like even
he was a can't miss prospect too.
Exactly.
Right?
Best prospect since Andrew Luck. You know, they were comparing him to some of the best prospects that ever come out. And so I think, again, not going to lose his job. So that's why I would say I like your picks with Daniel Jones and Tua. But he's got to do something. It's got to be better this year.
Absolutely. I see John in West Fargo is on the line. We'll take a break, though. John, we'll get to your call right when we come back. Got to take our last break, come back, and wrap up the show next year on the Insiders on a Wednesday.
Your home for the Thundering Herd. Bison 1660.
I'm Emily. I had my LASIK surgery here at Vance Thompson Vision. Being in the healthcare field, the highest technology is huge for patients. For me, that was the leading choice and why I chose to go with Vance Thompson Vision. Life without glasses in the operating room has been incredible for me. There's no more fogging. There's no more having issues with my glasses sliding down on my face. It's been great for me.
Call 877-522-EYES to schedule a free consultation.
Hey, Justin, what's this I hear about getting invoice pricing on all new 2022 Jeep Gladiators and Jeep Renegades at Corwin Jeep?
Yes, you got that right. We have the Make This the Summer event going on where you pay what we pay and get invoice pricing on brand new 2022 Jeep Renegades and Gladiators. And that's not all. New Jeeps come with Jeep Wave, our 36-month free service plan.
What if I'm looking for something from Ram? Got any truck specials?
Corwin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the region's largest selection of new trucks in stock and ready for immediate delivery. And now you can save up to $6,500 off MSRP on new Ram trucks during the Make This the Summer event at Corwin Ram.
Wow, I thought the days of discounts like that were over.
Yeah, $6,500 off MSRP. It's crazy. I don't remember when we had this great of an incentive. Save up to $6,500 off MSRP on new Ram trucks. A deal like this won't last long. Hurry into Corwin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram now for the best selection and save up to $6,500 off MSRP. Shop online, corwinauto.com.
I am all about summer.
Oh, me too, because summer is all the things.
All sunshine.
All good times.
All vacay.
And this summer, it's all at Mall of America.
For little ones, there's Crayola Experience with all those hands-on activities.
All-day family fun on Nickelodeon Universe rides.
Take an all-in staycation at Radisson Blu Mall of America, conveniently connected to the mall.
It's all birthday, all party, all summer, because the mall's turning 30.
mallofamerica.com/birthday.
All summer long.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks just added a new dish to their menus, the Chicken Street Corn Salad. The new addition features iceberg lettuce, charred corn, lentils, Billionaire's bacon, roasted jalapenos, Parmesan pico de gallo, green onions, cilantro, tortilla strips, creamy lime vinaigrette, and chili lime salt.
At Hanson Runsvold Funeral Home, one of the greatest honors I have is to be invited into the life of a family who has called on us during a time of need. It is such a blessing to be a part of a community that genuinely values a life well lived and the importance of honoring that life. Having been born and raised in Fargo, and now raising my son here, I have a deeper sense of what it means to be an active member of our community. The bonds we share, the stories we live, make us who we are. Hanson Runsvold, helping families look to the future with hope.
Barcode for lunch? Stop it! Yep, it's not just your favorite for happy hours and late night fun. Their lunch is delicious and they get you in and out quick. Stop it! Barcode for lunch? I love their pizza. Well, that's perfect. Monday through Friday from 11 to 2, get any 16-inch handmade pizza for half price with the purchase of 2 drinks. Stop it! Or grab one of their famous burgers. Stop it! All right, seriously, stop it with the stop it. Oh, you don't like that? Stop it! Barcode, across from Costco, just off Veterans.
We're with Chris Hoffman from Bonanza Agronomy. Chris, today's farmer does more than just grow crops.
Farmers also have to make payroll. Farmers also have to market crop. Farmers also have to run equipment. And, oh yeah, they have families too. The farmer has to wear many hats. So if he can take part of his operation and relinquish some control, remove the emotion from it, partner with an expert like Bonanza Agronomy, and let's put a plan together with somebody that's already been through this.
Find them on Facebook and bonanzaag.com.
The second annual El Zagel 9 Holes in 1 Challenge, Sunday, August 28th. You could win cash prizes from Nearson Chevrolet Cadillac, Gateway Chevrolet Cadillac, Stutzman Harley Davidson, RDO Moorhead, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Camping World, Fargo Force Hockey, Town and Country Credit Union, Buffalo Wild Wings. The Hole in 1 Challenge is on all 9 holes, plus cash prizes for closest to the pin and putting. It's the second annual 9 Holes in 1 Challenge to help all El Zagel. Register now at e-z-holein1.com.
The place you go for all your Bison news first. You've got the insiders right here on Bison 1660.
12:51, our final segment on the show today. Andy Rickoff, Kyle Emanuel. A lot of fun on the show the rest of the week as well, so make sure you stay tuned right here. By the way, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We've mentioned those ones. There's a new place you can follow us. We now have a Bison 1660 YouTube channel. We have our own YouTube channel there on YouTube, so go subscribe to Bison 1660 there. You'll be able to watch the shows back. You'll be able to watch some video interviews that Rob and me will be doing with different players out at practice as well and different coaches. So go there again, YouTube, Bison 1660. Subscribe to that page, and you'll have all the latest stuff there in terms of some video interviews and other video content right there on our new YouTube page. That's what we're doing. We're getting social with it. Haven't made a TikTok page yet. We have to get Kyle Emanuel to do dances on it.
No, absolutely not. I don't have a TikTok myself.
Kyle Emanuel and Cole Jurek doing dances to TikTok. That's all we have.
I mean, you might get some views.
We might get a couple of views.
I would get made fun of a lot.
No doubt about that. I'll just hold the camera on the other side. We'll let you guys do that one. Let's get to the phone lines, though. John in West Fargo giving us a call here at the end of the show. John, always great to have you on, sir. What's on your mind today?
Yeah, well, first off, I really appreciate your comments yesterday or the other day on how you do banking, that you still like to go in. I'm old school in that way, too, so I really appreciate that. Easton Stick, is he pretty much a shoo-in to be on the Chargers roster? And lastly, when is he going to get an opportunity? I mean, this guy's got incredible credentials and attitude and athletic ability. Is he going to get a shot? And why won't the Chargers let him go to have an opportunity at another team?
Thanks, John. Appreciate the call. I mean, yeah, he looked good. I mean, his credentials are what they are at this point. It's hard to have credentials as a backup quarterback. The thing that makes backup quarterbacks stick around, not the guy who was on the roster with him, Chase Daniel, who's stuck around for a decade plus at this point, is if you get into a game and, hey, you won a game or you played well in a game, and everyone's like, yeah, if we need it, he's serviceable, right? Or, the former starter who becomes a backup, that type of thing. The thing for Easton here, and again, he threw an interception. He did have a rushing touchdown in their first preseason game for the Chargers. If you want to read into that, the rushing touchdown looked pretty good, just all the way out to the left side, beat the defense to the corner of the end zone. The pick was an all-right interception for what interceptions can be. But I've heard a lot of people still like what he does out there. I wouldn't call him a shoo-in to make the roster. I wouldn't go that far because Chase Daniel's still on that roster. Obviously, Justin Herbert's a starter. But Chase Daniel was brought in there last year basically to be the backup and I thought Easton was probably going to get released or let go, but they kept him because a new coaching staff, new people there in with the Chargers, and they kept him. That to me says a lot that they decided, oh, this guy, we didn't know him at all before, but we like him a lot. We're going to keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster. They'd have to keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster again, which I don't know if they'll do. That's why I'm not going to say he's a shoo-in, but he'll have a good chance of making the team.
I mean, everything. I mean, take Twitter for what it's worth, but everything on Twitter is positive about him. And I think PFF had him graded as the highest offensive player. I don't know if this is correct, but I'm seeing a tweet saying that he was the highest graded player from PFF. So take that as what you will. But yeah, if I were a betting man, I'd say he's going to be on this roster. I think I'm getting to the point where I think the Chargers are going to use him as a backup next year. They're going to, if it's not this year, they're going to keep him on the roster this year, and he will be their backup next year. And then
if you're not going to do it this year, when are you going to do it? Right?
Yeah.
Well, nothing against Chase Daniel, but he just gives you more athleticism, more ability to make plays happen. I think
they could do the whole he's on the roster as a third quarterback again. They could do that again, and then I think they get rid of Chase Daniel next year, and they sign Easton to like a 1-year, 2-year deal.
Because this is the last year of his rookie deal.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So I think
Chargers, by the way, against the Cowboys on Saturday in preseason, 9 p.m. So a late one.
And joint practice is going on as well. So
updates tomorrow from it. Joint practice.
We need to send Mike out to Egan, Minnesota.
Give him credentials
as a live reporter.
And then Chargers and Saints as well. NFL preseason there the next week on Friday, August 26th. That's the schedule for Easton Stick, and hopefully he sticks on that roster and plays for a really long time. That'll do it for the show today. Thanks a lot to the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator for stopping by with Rob Hipp. Thanks as well to Mackenzie Broughton stopping in from Epic Companies. Well done, Kyle. Another great show in the books. We'll have you on again tomorrow, and we'll be back with another show tomorrow from 11 to 1 here on The Insiders.
Just think how kitchens have changed. In the past, kitchens were hidden in the back of the house. Now, kitchens are the focal point. They're the heart of the home for family and friends to hang out, cook, and eat together. If you need help visualizing how you can update your kitchen, Northern Stone can help. Maybe you can have an island, and maybe it can be an accent color. The designers at Northern Stone will give you many different ideas to think about. If you need to add counter space, storage, they can help. Check them out today at northernstone.com.
Doesn't matter who you are or where you're from, you're always welcome where there's Jim Beam. Small town guy in a big city guy in a small town, wherever